uncontested. Down low towards the south is going to be another team, and right towards the north at Dark Dominion is going to be Cold and Rapid. So even though they have space in this early game, Monster, it doesn't mean it's always going to stay that way.
Yeah, I saw in the feed, really curious about what happened there with Paper. Maybe we can get a highlight from the House of Sales or something like that, but we'll catch up. A lot of fall damage happening all weekend long. We've just kind of seen it go time and time again. But G Monster Magma, you can see splitting loot across one another as well, throwing heals, etc. Now we jump in with 7 Naves and Tex here, sitting above the fight that's about to go down with Noisy and his duo down low. And then you have this lurking team here to the north in the Vive.
Studios, V doesn't usually travel too far away from his drop spot. Almost everything you need, from brick, metal, wood, and even a mending machine. But for Naves and Teeks kind of landing in the open, split drop. Got to make sure not to get pushed. Teeks looking like he was almost getting approached there for a moment. And this is kind of an interesting decision for Teeks and Naves in this split area because they don't really have a lot of extra heals. They don't have a ton of materials, and now they have to go elsewhere, but you can see how contested the surrounding land it actually is. This one is not going to be an easy early game for Teeks and his duo. Early game for Teeks and his duo.
Things are going to settle out there. A little bit positive damage, though. All you can really hope for. Meanwhile, back to Irvin. Veno, as we know, they take the north side of the boulevard. Then you have the Sanctuary having a full-on fight. As we jump in, it ends. Void, Zifta there. Finish this one up pretty quickly. They have attracted a couple other duos here to the sounds of the battle, but not near close enough to go ahead and jump in and add any influence. So nice little 8-point swing here for Voids and Zifta.
Counting right now, around 12 teams, Monster, just land on that bottom right quadrant of the map. Basically from the east side of Battlewood to around the north side of the new Sanctuary, and that's over 10% of the actual lobby, maybe even close to 20, so you can see how stacked that edge of the zone actually is. What makes it hard to rotate into the north, like you actually see it kind of shifting the zone, forcing everybody towards the top side of the map. Chance and Tyler, they went ahead and left their contested drop early on, maybe getting some loot just to get what they're missing in their loadout. It's kind of a necessary evil when you're going ahead and triple contesting the south side of Battlewood Boulevard.
Back on over to PETERBOT. Boyo here. Scribbly Shores all to themselves. Not a soul in sight either. Just look at that map. No one looking to come close to their territory right now. Last game, though, Boyo continuing to just keep that tension on the rest of the lobby. We've seen him, for whatever reason or another, really shine in the heats, and now shining to start things off here for the game one, the grand finals. But one thing's for certain, PETERBOT, Boyo, you start to take away a big lead on them, they're going to make sure they influence the lobby to try to fight back as they want to play for that championship.
Yeah, one of the few teams I feel like that can single-handedly close the gap with the eliminations. We're probably waiting until their back is up against the wall. Those there in Isho, familiar fight here, north side of the map, with the changes from Treetop Terrace going out and this spot kind of replacing it. Most of the loot is a little bit more focused towards the north side, which kind of causes a little bit more contested fights rather than splitting it. So for those there in Ishu, they've been landing here almost all season long, even throughout the changes. It'd be crazy to think they would leave anytime soon, especially with finals here. So for Raiden, CDZ, they're having a pretty good run from the play-ins to the heats till here. They just need to keep that momentum on their side against a team like those there in Ishu, who have also been playing pretty consistent in Division Cups and so on.
Those there Ishu are experienced as well, so Raven and CDZ just have to take note, learn from their previous games. But with this Veno curve lurking on Electro and Oak. Electro and Oak seem to feel like something is up, though. They're fully based down. They might have heard or caught some visual cues here, hence the waiting. Veno and Curve won't be able to stay here much longer. They will have to start healing here soon. In the feed, I do think CDZ found elimination, so we'll have to catch that update here in a second. What do you think's happening here?
Oh, this takes a lot of patience from Veno and Curve. They're camping the mending machine right there. They're hoping that they kind of lost Electro and ult. Yep, just like this. They peek through. They try to access the mending machine. First shot's going to be fired, which is an important amount of damage. You said it yourself. Curve and Veno have not healed just yet. Full shield, but it's the HP that is drastic here. Curve using the splashes by himself. Not sure what Veno has on the other side, but they're keeping pressure onto ult, not letting him try and heal up. And even though Veno just took a second there to heal up, it's that second of difference that allowed for Curve to get pushed off of his current position, take some damage, and almost reset the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was definitely limited on heals, so they had to get those pieces there, but this fight's not going to end here now. Veno, Curve already have a little bit of a damage advantage in the exchange, but they were trying to hope to secure those elims. This is that fight with CDZ and Raven, so what they learned from the last game is we got to finish this one up quickly. Once we attack, we got to finish the job, and it looks like CDZ and Raven do just that. And that's going to be their first big 8 points earned here in the finals. They can say they've done more than some as far as the finals appearance goes, and let's see if they can keep it up. Meanwhile, Veno and Curve pushing aggressively to finish the battle like we knew they would. They do come out successful.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it for CDZ and Raven. I think in a good way, they've been the biggest refresh and the biggest surprise to competitive this season. And honestly, I hope they continue to show off and show out as one of the new teams. We always talk about the new guard. Well, this is a crucial chance here because we could see a first-time finalist qualify to the Summit land. I think it said something about like 78 players are trying to qualify for their first land. And if the math just checks out, right, Monster, there are 13 spots up for grabs. That means 26 players will go to the Summit land. And if 78 players are trying to go to the first, that means roughly 2 to 4 players, no matter what happens here, will qualify for their first land in Fortnite. Exciting times.
Yep, the possibility is definitely there. I think 13 spots is very generous. Very generous. You know, most finals lobbies, when you look at the overall leaderboards, you know, you think like, oh, okay, you can drop a game or two each day and still be up towards the top 10. So that amount of grace and consistency, for sure, a new team can just have their moment here this weekend and see their way straight to the finals. It happens every year. We'll just see if it's going to be Raven and CDZ this time around. Threats and Veer, though, making do with their opportunity right now. Seem to be positioned pretty well. Last game, they were, of course, making it just past that mid-game now. Early game looking relatively decent for Muzz and Sphinx. Great end game showing from their side. Obviously, a second place. Nothing to scoff at. But one thing's for certain, catching storm sickness is one sad way to go out at the end.
Yeah, they were one of the teams that they did deal a good amount of damage overall throughout the course. Muzz in game one had the most damage dealt out of every individual player in the game. Just goes to show that they're really just kind of building that storm surge cushion. No matter if they're positioned high up on a mountain, not far away from their drop, or here where you'd think it's kind of disadvantageous to box up next to one of those mountains, they are very, very calculated about how they approach each and every one of these zones, whether if it max pull is far away, or kind of goes and turns in their favor. They're ready for whatever comes their way. And this could be another team that's a very, very similar case, especially to start the year. We had Rapid. No matter who he teamed with, it seemed like he could not be stopped. Even in the solo finals competition, Rapid was at the top of the leaderboard. And Monster, let me tell you, when Rapid was reading zones like he knew where it was going to go 100%, he was almost never wrong. And now you bring that to duos when you have Cold by your side. So if you have somebody that can lead the charge, open up opportunities for someone like Cold, this could be another one of our big contenders this weekend.
Yeah, Rapid and Cold now on teams Twisted Minds. You know, looking back to Globals, I remember the last organization that he was on, you know, the leadership over there was telling me, like, Monster, keep an eye out on this guy. I'm telling you, Rapid is next up. And look, he's only continued to do better and bigger things now leading into this first major. You know, it doesn't get any bigger than working with one of the best on the region. Visuals and Braids, though, talk about a way to start their tournament run off. You know, this is not a new guard team. This is an experienced duo here that has been playing side by side for quite a few years now, it looks like. And just really nice to see them start this off so strong.
Yeah. And rightfully so, because you not only throughout the heats, but the last chance qualifier, that high ground, especially in the win in your in type format, was so contested with so many teams. So it's almost a great heads up play for Visuals and Braids. Said, you guys want high ground, you guys can fight for it. We'll control the low ground here. And while everybody was fighting for high grounds, teams that gave it up, they went down low and were in shambles. Visuals and Braids, cool as a cucumber, they made sure to make that game one count. And like you said, you can slip up on a few games, but it really, really plays an impact on how you get to play day number 2, whether you're having to go full aggressive to catch up on the points or just getting to have business as usual if you're on the top of the leaderboard.
Quincy Neko in a bit of a skirmish against Listen there and his duo, but we have to back off, being a little bit more passive. Don't want to get caught too long in the storm here now. You can see Aloe and Listen. Not too sure if the opponent's actually backed out of the fight just yet, so keeping that defensive stance. Then you have Reet and Cooper on the other side. Much different scenario here. No one in sight. Opting to kind of live in the storm now before just super padding out here.
I like when you say that, the super pad. The super pad. If you guys don't know, if you guys are tuning in, maybe you missed play-ins, heats, and the last chance qualifier, there are 2 launch pads at the north side of the map, this being one of them. On its own, Monster, it takes you higher and farther than regular launch pads. Now you combine that with the fizz, now you combine that with the shock grenade, you see how high you actually go. In some cases, you're out of render distance. Teams literally can't even see you to get those shots, and you're going to show in game number 1, they kind of rotated in early. They used that launch pad, they went towards the south. This time around, they're taking a slower approach, knowing that there's different mountain ranges and edges that they can access.
Yeah, and they only earned 6 points in game 1, so they have a lot of space to make up for. You looked at anyone's kind of lobby list of who's going to perform up towards the top. Reet is surely in that conversation. He's done it before. He did it last year. Let's see if they can pick up the pace now for Major 1. Now, of the few games you can kind of dud out, having one down after game 1 is a little rough. But it's not over just yet. Veno Curve, though, on the other side. Already 2 elims. Still, once again, going from machine to machine now, just trying to stick to that same strategy. I mean, this is true and trusty, right? Look, you have G Monster Magma here. He's about to start med-kitting. They're actually exposed.
Oh, just a quick peek. Veno and Curve. This time around, you saw they kind of made a play similar to this in that last game. They made sure to heal up first, but now they have quick access to the vending machine. The patchups are in with Magma down. G-Money looks like he's going for a revive, but he might end up in that same situation. But luckily, Curve goes up and over, forces him down into the hand of Veno, where they're able to clean up that elimination. They fell asleep for just a second too long, and Curve and Veno strike, get the elimination, and build that cushion for Storm Surge, almost 700 above that threshold.
They're just playing so good right now. I'd probably bet that they're the furthest ahead when it comes to overall Surge right now. And their execution just couldn't be better on those 2 ambushes that they set up. Veno playing as great as ever. Obviously, coming from EU to NA, you have a lot to prove. That huge investment in yourself, right, to come on over and do the thing here on the region. And then doing it with someone like Curve, who hasn't really had that much of a chance to show how good of a player he could be, right? We've seen him play with the folks like Reet and a few other top tiers, but Veno, I would say, is definitely amongst the most elite of his duo options so far.
Yeah, and I think everybody's quite pleasantly surprised. I want to give a huge shout out to Mom and Pop Curve, really believing in their son and just allowing him to follow this dream of not only just playing and competing in Fortnite, but a chance to be one of the best players in Fortnite. They get to travel the world if they're able to qualify here inside of the top 13. When we talk about history being on one team side, Acorn has that Major 1 history. I think you called it the Major 1 magic. I like that. So if Acorn can pull it off here, definitely would be a magician. 38 points in game number 1. So already a slow start for them, but you can see with the zone pulling on over toward the north side of the map, almost 300 above the damage threshold. They're just taking it one step at a time.
They're looking good. Love the positioning here on the bottom edge of that mountain. They should have no resistance from any other team. And then they go with the full metal base, so that's just showing us they're not looking to move anytime soon. Jumping on over to CLIX Higgs. Ager's Ritual side to side here. CLIX and Higgs have a little thorn in their hip, but right now, just fishing for opportunity. Nothing available just yet. Muzz Sphinx is going to be the first that they put a little attack onto, but CLIX unfortunately misses those shots. And look at this. This is not actually looking too good for Muzz and Sphinx. They're just barely holding on right now.
Yeah, blessing for them to kind of make that quick rotation onto a slower side of the zone, kind of allow them to peek and get a wide variety of options here. The curse is going to be everybody's fully boxed up already in both brick and metal, so it's going to be hard to spray your way through. But they're 142 above that damage threshold, and they're not a team that goes in desperation mode just because they're below the damage threshold. And that's a huge focal point for their game plan. But PETERBOT and Pollo, they're just getting sprayed at from multiple teams. They're forced to reposition, having to go lower and lower onto that low ground as they reunite. But Spray is not slowing down or stopping just yet. Pollo is barely surviving, less than 50 HP left, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. They're burning through their materials, less than 10 left on PETERBOT. He's still trying to scramble around, but not really finding an open opportunity here to get back into this game.
Very smart scramble, though, going back to all that invested metal, trying to find himself a little bit of a safety spot amongst the chaos, and that was all because the teams in his general area needed damage. So they unfortunately found themselves positioned next to all these opponents that needed a ton of damage. They get shot up by the entire lobby, and now they have to find damage themselves. PETERBOT at least gets an elimination there, so it's not a zero-sum game, but they are still so far below. Pollo has to go into the box. We've seen him do the impossible before. He gets another set of points, but how much more can he realistically do here?
Yeah, I'm not really feeling too worried, though. We saw what Pollo can do in the heats just to get to this stage, but you got to be careful. Chance does go down. Cold and Rapid just terrorizing those floors, dropping him into the box, and you're kind of see the shakeup that this lobby has right before our very eyes, and this is where we're going into these next couple zones, Monster. If we go towards the north, the northwest, or even towards the northeast, you better buckle in because we're going to be in for a roller coaster of emotions. Yes, if we go south, we go down a mountain, but it eases up the pressure from a lot of what these players are facing, and we go towards the northeast. Pollo, I hope you're ready for this ride.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. Now, he does still have a couple shockwaves, but with Acorn here to the side, I mean, these are dangerous teams on high ground. CLIX and Higgs already looking out in the distance as well here. Pollo has found himself in so many solo situations this weekend, and he has just performed time in and time out. I feel like we're asking so much of him to keep their team on the standings right now, but hey, he is nearing a top 20. CLIX Higgs have that natural elevation to play with as well. And they are just in the best position right now that we have seen so far as making it into another top positioning endgame here.
And you see Higgs, CLIX, back-to-back games going for that high ground early, and you see they're focusing not only on the players kind of rotating around, but the ones that are in that fizz mist. Those are the threats to that high ground, the second height. They keep putting down that focus. Buzz and Sphinx might be one of those teams as well. They're not dropping down unless they have to. You see Pollo trying to shockwave off, probably only has one shockwave left in his inventory. You can see only down to 6 builds, and this is where it becomes just a nightmare of a situation for Pollo, but he gets a little bit of a blessing. The mist is there. Sphinx dropping down along with Muzz, trying to control their own destiny as well.
That was crazy. A little mist here to kind of support him, and he's trying to find out, hey, where was that throw? Who can I jump on? Who needs these heals right now? But unfortunately, he doesn't quite find the opportunity there, but just 4 builds. 1 shockwave, so this shock has to be played almost offensively now. Can he get into a situation for a refresher here? Of course he can, finds a player there, but doesn't quite find the follow-up. This player's jumping all around him. There goes a missed tag. He's got nothing there, and into the hands of another duo. That opponent goes, so no refresh for him. Down he falls in the top 18. Getting back to the wide view, you have CLIX and Higgs on high ground. Acorn bolts, sizing up the second layer. Cold and Rapid, front side of the low ground, just playing for an ultimate end.
Yeah, and for Acorn and Bolts, they wait till the last second. They think you're out of builds, but Muzz gets in the box, ends up with 1 elimination, but Wager sends him right back to the lobby. And this goes to show we're in 2nd place there in the first game, kind of going down relatively early here. Cold, along with Rapid, they're controlling one side. You see Venom and Curve controlling the other, but this is where it continues to become a nightmare. We're going down into the divot off the side of that mountain. For CLIX and Higgs, they have the biggest advantage, control over the high ground, but Osid, Scare, they're there. Agers and Ritual, they're there as well.
The problem with this is you have to use material in order to, maintain your positioning right now. This is the type of endgame you cannot practice for. Agers, Ritual, also starting to fizzle out now. You can see as they're starting to lower themselves gently down the layers here, looking for opportunity into a box. They're trying to send themselves, but no, the defense was good from the opponents there. Higgs, meanwhile, on the other side, loses a lot of shield here, forced to miss up, and CLIX as well. Very desperate situation for Height now. Acorn and Bolts finally attack, and it's theirs to secure.
Wow, CLIX and Higgs read the curve and Veno play from a mile away. They get the elims, they get the knocks, but in comes Acorn and Bolts while they're distracted. CLIX and Higgs said, nah, you're not going to get it for free. CLIX is literally putting it all on the line. He said this is his FNCS to win if he's going to get it, and he takes down Bolts, leaving Acorn as a solo, but there's still 3 more threats in the mix. Scared, Osid, Ages of Ritual, they're still alive, but CLIX is still focused on the Acorn.
That was disgusting. CLIX goes up, Higgs breaks the foundation, and then they actually take that team down. And now it's their high ground all over again as it bounces back over their original investment here. Now, they haven't picked up a refresher, but they surely have control of the skies right now. Agers and Rituals haven't quite had a time to do anything with the high ground, but they are running things on the low ground. 8 eliminations for them now. But look at the POV here from CLIX and Higgs. It is looking like a breeze fest here to the end game if they can just pressure these lobbies out and use the terrain to their advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely theirs. They're going up the side of the mountain. Another knock onto Ritual. Cooper falls. Ager's alive, and Taki's making a mad dash trying to get inside of the zone. But he falls all the same. CLIX is just cleaning up house here as him and Higgs caught fire in game 2 to take it all.
It almost feels like back-to-back performances for them right now. You saw the game 1. They are showing us how it is they want to play the grand finals this weekend, and that's height or nothing. Game 2, though, Zeke, is now wraps.
This is what I was waiting for in finals. The fight for height, CLIX and Higgs. Kelly, I can't believe
Cooper falls. Ager's alive, and Taki's making a mad dash trying to get inside of the zone. But he falls
and use the terrain to their advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely theirs. They're going up the side of the mountain. Another knock onto Ritual. Cooper falls. Ager's alive, and Taki's making a mad dash trying to get inside of the zone. But he falls all the same.
And use the terrain to their advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely theirs. They're going up the side of the mountain. Another knock onto Ritual. Cooper falls. Ager's alive, and Taki's making a mad dash trying to get inside of the zone. But he falls all the same. CLIX is just cleaning up house here as him and Higgs caught fire in game 2.
Even going back before people are trying to steal height, even the way that they're just claiming it from the start of Zone 8, where they'll build a tower and they don't actually tarp. If you notice, they'll wait till Zone kind of pulls all the way to the edge, and then they'll launch themselves forward to build a tower to take height, saving up all those materials that they're going to need for the very end game.
Almost nothing about that game makes sense.
If they pull off this win from height fucking all 12 games, bro, I'll be so happy to be wrong, man. They're looking fantastic.
It's like, okay, you need a lot.
Bro, I'm already like
materials
thinking, oh,
to
the CLIX fucking
survive
tweet, the
from
CLIX live
8 zone
after
high
if he
ground
somehow
all the
pulls
way
it
to
off,
the
bro.
end of the game. They ended the game with 4 eliminations.
This is the only thing he
honestly thought
fucking
you
needs.
need more
Like, this is
refreshes. And
literally
if
the
you
only thing
also
he
take
needs.
a look at the
He just gets so many kills. They just punch.
It was mountainous, right? A lot
Just
of like
punch.
dip and elevation.
They just
so you have
punch.
to account for that. It usually takes a little bit more.
Dude, you
build
see
to
CLIX and Higgs'
to
average
build or something
placement?
like that. So not only did CLIX and Higgs fend off like
It's literally
seven
ridiculous,
different
bro.
teams amongst, like,
It's
an
fucking
incredible
crazy.
amount of chaos. So people just flying above them, and somehow, you know, when the dust settled, they were the ones that ended up on the higher ground. But they also made it work from
Dude.
its zone with only 4 eliminations. You gotta imagine.
Who's
how
last?
Do they do that?
Should not
First 2
last. Let's
games,
not do
CLIX
that.
and Higgs, they
Who's that a
Wait,
land
someone's
call?
not playing. 49 in the grants.
Chill. Who's at a land call? Okay, Reed's at a land call by 10. Yeah, Jay, I know. It's only been 2 games, so shit's all early. It's still, we're good. Nobody
We're
has to
missing a
tweak.
team though.
Nobody has to tweak. Everyone relax.
Don't even worry about it. CLIX and Higgs looking so good. That was game number 2. We're going to a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the lobby list and start preparing for the chaos that will be game 3. We'll see you in just a minute.
Oh, and Pan can't queue? That sucks. Wow. 49 player grands, bro.
Yeah, Bluey. So NPen can't queue at all. Still.
I mean, that's kind of fire.
But what happens? They're out the office now, so they can't let them. But then what? Yo, Abel, appreciate the tier 1, bro. I'm serious. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, brother.
Where's Kwani at? I don't know. Ducking her shit. Nah. Peak keys clicks this game. Watch. Nah. Too early, bro. Too early for any action to happen. There's a lot of There's 4 games. There's 4 games left. It's way too early for any of that action to happen, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think so, boys.
Pete just needs to get to punching, bro. That's the problem.
If Pete top 3 is one of the games with kills or top whatever, he's back in business right away. He's chilling. He's not gonna do anything instantly. Now that would grief his tournament. For sure. He needs to be close to actually make some shit happen, you know? Nah, I don't think no, he won't do that either. Yo, Seth with the 10, bro. Holy shit. Seth, appreciate the 10 gifted, bro. Big Seth, man. Thank you for that, bro. What's good, Aiden?
My goodness. They're just rage bears. I understand it now. Bro, these kids are drones. I thought I was crazy. Let's just enjoy this day while we have it. It'd be bad if the guy that view botted me every day. Cause then instead of people saying you fell off, people will say you're a view botter. Alright, chat, I gotta shower. You guys wanna shower me or not? Dude, I need to like. I'm gonna shower.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam, to Major 1 FNCS Finals in day number 1. Game number 2. CLIX fans, rise up. Our time is now. They get themselves a victory royale in game number 2. Kelly, they went ahead and put the whole lobby on notice. We're here to play. We are here for high ground and high ground only. But there was more that happened in that game, right, Kelly? A bunch of things as we get ready to look at the lobby list. You'd think CLIX and Higgs would be in first place, because I would think that, right? Like, oh yeah, they got a victory royale, but that's not the case, is it, Kelly?
No, it's not, because Agers and Ritual are up on top, and there is a big number that could indicate as to why, and that is their elimination number right there, currently leading the lobby with 13 eliminations. And yeah, for it just being 2 games, 13 is actually quite high. And of course, that's Agers and Ritual. Like I was saying earlier on at the top of the show, they actually have a higher amount of average eliminations in their Div Cup finals over Peter and Poyo. Agers and Ritual understand what a win condition means. And I don't mean a victory royale condition. I'm talking about the whole tournament. They know exactly what they need to do, Vivid, and they're showing it in our first 2 games.
Zeke completely destroyed Kelly's train of thought right there. That was awesome. Anyway, 10 eliminations for the duo just there in game number 2. As you can see, 7 on Agers, 3 on Ritual. And this is exactly what me and Kelly were kind of talking about. That elim heavy refresh style of gameplay where they try to make it work from the mid ground. Got to give a big shout out though. You want to talk about fighting in the early game. Venno and Curry, we've kind of talked about how, you know, their drop spot, the situation over there, it's been a little bit weird. They kind of having to switch plans, but to me, it doesn't look like they switched plans at all, because to get their Storm Surge, they've basically been taking a couple of 2v2 fights in the early game, even sometimes in the Storm itself. And it's just been working out. You would imagine if you're taking 2v2 fights, you know, the way the Storm Surge works now, it's a damage ratio. So they're taking these 2v2 fights, and they're just not really taking damage in them. How cleanly are they winning those fights?
I mean, if we're taking a look at this height still right now, it definitely was not too clean when you're kind of a little focused on a certain player and everyone else is looking up at you saying, oh, hey, he's just in the air. I'm going to take a few shots. It definitely makes it a little bit harder for you to defend yourself. But you talking about them fighting in Storm, I love that play we got to see from them fighting next to the mending machine, which actually allowed them to fight even longer in Storm and eventually get one of those eliminations. And they're, again, it's, Veno. He's so smart when he plays, and to see them kind of handling this change to their drop spot situation and still being able to come out on top, I love to see it.
Yeah, as we bring up those standings, the reason we wanted to highlight them is we just talked about these 13 elims. And remember, we're getting one more point per elim, right? First place, Aegis Ritual of 13 elims. But as we look at Curve and Veno, they already have 12, right? So we're just missing a handful of like consistency points. And then suddenly we're starting to run up that leaderboard. Cold and Rapid, though, again, I feel like, Kelly, we have so much star power, right? We can look at any duo and just be like, yo, they're going crazy, and we probably would be right. But now we're kind of starting to pick up, right? We kind of talked about in that first game, maybe a little slower, a little like subdued. And even now it's a very similar place, right? 7th place, 4th, 8th place, 5 elims. I'm kind of waiting, Kelly, I'm kind of waiting for that ice cold game out of Cold.
I think how they play in tournaments is similar to kind of how they play in the end game. They kind of like to play in the mid ground. They love to play for refreshes. And if they need to go for kind of a heavy elim, they'll lock in and they'll go on the low ground. And then that's where we really see them tear. But for me, Cold and Rapid, it's less about how consistent they are and more about these insane pop-off games, Vivid, that we know that both of them individually and as a duo can pull out.
Yeah, so it'd be scary stuff for the leaderboard when we do see one of those games. Got to give a big shout out to Acorn and Bolts. I feel like that game is rough because we saw a little bit of life of them in that game where they actually attempted to go for high ground right there. So it'll be interesting to see over the course of the next 10 games if they're going to kind of continue with that plan. Although I do want to kind of talk about how this whole like lobby and how the kind of lobby plays out. CLIX and Higgs, I feel like they fended off PETERBOT in game number 1. I feel like they fended off a lot of teams there in game number 2. You got to imagine at some point, Zeke, these teams are kind of going to get tired of going up for it if CLIX and Higgs are just going to keep beating them at that fight. And eventually it might end up where CLIX and Higgs just have high ground for free. Kind of something to think about.
Yeah, man. Like you're pointing out the amount of players that have gone up to fight for it. Like, I think in any other circumstance we've seen that, it's like that team usually just like, okay, hey, my bad, like you guys can have it. But CLIX and Higgs, they are holding on, Kelly. It's looking nice.
It's looking good, Zeke. But you know what else is looking good? Game 3.
That's right, Fortnite fam. It's game time. Buckle up. Game number 3 starts now.
Thank you. And yeah, just like that, we're approaching game 3 already. Finals days tend to go pretty quickly, but one thing's for certain, Jacob, it's too early to call anything just yet.
Yeah, I'm already kind of getting my wish. I said I just want game 12 to matter when it's all said and done. Already a 1-point difference, proving that history lesson we gave might come true. And this is going to be an exciting time to kind of see it. Will CLIX and Higgs continue to play for the high ground? Aegis and Ritual, will they wake up? Or PETERBOT and Pollo? Teams right now are poking the bear. We know what type of team they could turn into day 2.
Yeah, one thing's underrated is those elimination points are starting to rack up. You're earning more for your value here when you get eliminations. So seeing someone like Aegis and Rituals up at the top just because they managed to pop off in that last game, they definitely are being rewarded there on the standings. But one thing's for certain, PETERBOT and Pollo don't usually get lobbied like that. So we'll see what they're going to change up here for game number 3.
A lot of consistency coming out of CLIX and Higgs so far throughout 2 games. Aegis and Ritual as well, their first place on the leaderboard. Already locking down a 2nd and a 13th with 13 total eliminations. You gotta like what Curve and Veno are doing as well. Just kind of keeping it close, and that's going to be the interesting thing of how the day ends today. Really has control of how you get to play tomorrow.
One thing about Fortnite is there is a little bit of luck involved. When you went back and saw the highlights, I actually can't believe Higgs survived the way he did. That should have been Veno and Curve's game right there. I'm just going to say that for the record, as Paper and Resi are getting active right now at their drop here, Jacob. Not to distract us too much, but yeah, that highlight really showed us how lucky CLIX and Higgs were there.
Yeah. Back to this fight, though. Paper, that was almost a must-win as Tyler and Chance taking down Electro and Ulk early on the south side of Battlewood Boulevard. Actually, elimination, probably spitting it. Does look like Toronto somewhere else on the map kind of stole that one away. So they're only going to get the 1 elimination, 4 points, but they are going to get most of that loot out of the elimination. That's Toronto and Slips. Further down south outside of Battlewood, kind of split the drop down there towards the bottom. Just kind of take those little opportunities while you can. That's kind of the name of the game.
Nice little Elam for them, given that they're playing the coastal line. Back on over to the Painted Palms here. Blanks and Mako, again, managed to find a nice little victory there coming out of their heats category. Team to their north, though, again, you're going to find a lot of duos trying to hold down the vending machines at the POIs. They're basically death traps. You got to be super careful when approaching those areas. Raven CDZ coming off a hot little victory of an early game battle for themselves, but wasn't able to convert anything else after that game too.
Almost feels like for them, they've been almost 3 different drops throughout the 3 games that we've seen so far. Top side of the map, we saw them take on Dozier and Ishu, go against Chris and Drew, and now against Threats and Beer. Just trying to find their spot on a map like this is not going to be the easiest thing, especially a team like Threats and Beer who just want to rid everyone out of their POI. It's a legendary POI, so you can see exactly why they're fighting. More loot, more gold, more opportunity if they're able to get it to themselves, as they quickly go through at least 1 box of pizza. While Threats heals, Veer is kind of put the pressure down so that way they can't easily turn and burn to try to take down Threats in a 2v1.
See what Raven and CDZs can take away from this finals as a whole, because they're starting to notice, I think, that you can't just be too flexible on the lobby. You will encounter incredibly talented players everywhere you go. And even now, one might argue that this is an even better team in Threats and Veer. Monster shot for him there to finish up with the assistance of a team and the Riptides there, and just like that, they get sent back to the lobby.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that was HQ and Encrypted from their lighthouse just west of Squibbly. For them, it's not even necessarily about the elimination. For HQ Encrypted, it's just the early game Storm Surge. You can kind of see cut halfway through Battlewood Boulevard, the zone. It's already pushing teams towards the north side of the map. And that gives a little bit of a cushion here for Veno and Curve to do these lurk plays just like this. We saw it in the last game. We're going to see it here again. Curve probably trying to distract Tyler and Chance from the distance, saying, hey, they're nowhere to be found on this side, and that gives Veno a little bit of a lurk opportunity.
I always keep eyes on what Veno's up to. It's one of the most decorated players, one who tends to come in with an extreme amount of preparation. It's always something to learn. Always something up these elite pros' sleeves, of course. For CLIX and Higgs, things are just business as usual here at the Wonky Land. You got Higgs on watch up top. Meanwhile, back to Veno. Just when you think it's safe, you never know.
This is a long investment in time right now from Veno. Up above, you got Curve lurking around, so they got basically all the important exits locked down. Veno watching the whole other side of that building, probably getting the audio visuals as well. A lot of information for him to keep to himself. And it's just the patience here is going to be the biggest thing. Does he try to go in and make a play by himself, especially with how far Curve actually is? You could use a shockwave to cut the distance, but anything can happen in a quick couple of seconds. For Tyler and Chance, great heads-up play for them. They probably realize what Veno and Curve do, how they play and lurk around the entire POI, whether they're contested or not. So better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and of course, they're just trying to get that critical medal, right? So Veno recognizes this. He knows an opportunity is just moments away. Boyo, PETERBOT on the other side, just trying to get their medal in order as well. Preparing for the mid-game. PETERBOT eyeing up a team in the distance. Gonna be Muzz and Sphinx right now. Couple tags come out. Those are tags that PETERBOT will just not miss.
Yeah, a little bit of a different game this time around. It does look like it's going to continue to go towards the north, over towards Wonky Land, maybe the north side of the map, Frigid Fortress. So PETERBOT Poyo do have access to that rift if they do want to use it. Haven't really seen it in play too much so far on the day, but Sometimes you got to save the tricks to when you do need it most. Ages and Ritual, you can see some of their early games so far throughout the first two. It was Storm Surge early because they're not contested and the surrounding land isn't as contested as it usually is. They're just going to have to hunt for that Storm Surge rather than sit in the zone.
Got a couple highlights though. This is one from Listen and Aloe's duo. Oh, they find someone fresh off the reboot. Quick finish there, and then of course they're gonna go into Collapse on the solo. Just like that, they earn their first set of points here in the finals lobby. Jumping back to Paper though. Paper went from early eliminations at the drop now to fighting Bucky and Zen here. Bucky's in big danger. Zen forced to back him up right now, give him a little bit of room to work with.
Paper and Resi have been rotating north to end up in this position. Mending Machine is right there, so you can kind of see what their focus is. Resi doesn't have a ton of gold, so it's not really going to get much out of it. You got to hope Paper has the lion's share of that one. But they're just really trying to control this whole side of the map. But for Bucky and Zen, you see empty item slots, not a lot of builds, not a lot of heals. They're in a drastic situation. Maybe not in a spot to where they start to get desperate, but they have to start thinking what plan B is going to be.
I was going to say, remember, PETERBOT and Boya were desperate for Surge last game. Look at the adjustment in their strategy. They find a duo that seems to be somewhat isolated from the rest of the rotate, and now they're going in hyper aggressively.
Run from one team to the next. A lot of teams on the north side of the map, for some reason, making their way down south. You can see the drop is there. Almost a little bit more of a reward outside of the elimination, but Boyo lands the first big shot to try to break things up. PETERBOT is going ahead and putting pressure, cleaning up that elimination, easing up that Storm Surge pressure here. You called it out. Last game wasn't the best game for them in terms of Storm Surge. In fact, it was almost the reason why they went down early, got lobby focused. Now with that elimination there, they're going to be able to claim that drop to themselves and maybe even move back to their POI.
Yeah, and the speed of which they can finish a fight is definitely the difference maker from them to a more average pro team. Jumping in with Cold and Rapid here. We got a little update with the situation. Talk about that mythic shotgun in hand. It's definitely a power loadout here. And ooh, Cold with a quick two-piece right there. That's a plus 50 for them.
Who's counting up on the Surge for them? 110 points so far throughout 2 games. Cold and Rapid in 4th place, but just like the first and second place point differential, you got Visuals and Braids right underneath at 109. They won our first game of the day, really setting the tone and the pace that everybody has to follow up on. So it's definitely not going to be easy. Wagers and Slepsy rotating on over towards Riptide. They used to land here, but didn't want to end up in a disadvantaged fight, so they went ahead and went elsewhere as Flex goes down, leaving Light by himself. Plenty of heals in the Chug Jug and the Splashes to get up 200 effective shield and HP. Nut has the same comfortability with the Slapperoni Pizza on the other side, but it's a 1v1 with the zone pulling further and further away. Even if they win this fight, they got to find the time to get the reboot.
Finding a reboot's always difficult as well. It just attracts so much attention to you. And look at this. Talk about attention being drawn. There's a team moving in hot from the west side already now. Light and Flex are on a timer. I mean, obviously we know Light's by himself. He's got to wrap this one up or Nut's got to fight back, but they can't. It'll be the end for both of them. It's actually Penta and Power who are lurking up and in now.
Big advantage, though, for Light. In terms of the solo players, he does have a lot of the HP heals, but Power and Penta crouching, hiding, but they get a big elim onto Light. A worthwhile elim. Look at Power's inventory before and after. Now they're getting a bunch of materials, a bunch of extra heals, the Splashes and the Chug Jug. Even though they don't necessarily stacked out in terms of shockwaves, they came for what they wanted and they got it. And now they're just continuing on with the rest of their game. Hopefully they can find a safe spot in zone so this is actually worth it.
I'm just laughing. I'm thinking, like, put myself in Nut's position where he's like, oh my gosh, and he just stops moving. He's got his pizza out. He's like, bruh, please. And then they leave. So he gets really lucky. Bailed out a desperate spot there. And you know he's got the reboot card, so they will get to continue their tournament life here. Acorn and Bolts, completely different situation here. Much more chill scenario on hand. Pretty much just camping the launch pads right now. with the zone on top of them. So nothing to worry about right now. Ooh,
This is where it looks to get a little spooky. About Pollo, yeah, this is where they actually kind of land for the most part. They have the slurp trucks that's there, the vending machine, and we saw PETERBOT farm up a lot of his metal. Quick moment there where you said it yourself, looking dangerous with Curve and Veno rotating nearby. We saw the sheer amount of lurks throughout the first 2 games so far, using the vending machines as a distraction for teams, and that's how they picked up not only damage but eliminations. Probably seeing how far the zone is actually pulling towards the north, so instead of waiting, they probably realized they already have some good surge eliminations early, so they're trying to beat every other team to the punch.
Yeah, I'm just thinking they got spider senses like Curve and Veno reading the situation like, nah, maybe not this team. Let's just go go to this storm. It's going to be the best decision they make in this game, that's for sure. A clash for PETERBOT and Pollo when there's 700 above the surge is not the type of PETERBOT and Pollo you want to fight right now. Not in this game, not in this lobby. Love that we got to see a little glimpse of Osid and Scare's position there. That sleeper duo that has been creeping up the standings bit by bit. Mako and Blanks, though, quite the rotate for them to make here. Carillion, meanwhile, whoa, nice little knock out the sky there. Someone's fired up.
I'm always a what have you done for me lately type of guy, and honestly, in the short span that Jargu and Carillion have played together, Monster, they have won 3 games in set lobbies through their heat or through the last chance qualifier and the eval finals. So even though right now they're sitting on 40 points, I wouldn't necessarily be too worried. This team can pull out some insane moments and victories. Just unfortunate they are contested at the far eastern side of the map, going against Sniper Dude and Avenger. So not every game is going to be guaranteed. Just goes to show Carillion taking advantage of those little opportunities while you can. PETERBOT and Pollo, they did clean up a few eliminations here. We saw one early, one in the feed, and you can see they're rotating away from Tyler and Chance. Already up towards the zone, but they're going to where they think it is going to open up and give them a little bit more cushion in terms of spacing.
Nice little find right there to get the chug barrels. But I did want to say, you know, 40 points is still in the race. Like, remember, the real winners are who's going to land, who's in top 13 when this is all said and done. So if you're 40 points, you're 60 points like Cooper and Ree. I mean, you're in the conversation right now. Your shoes are tied, you know. You're on the track here. You got to respect it so far. But again, this is only game 3, right? We're about halfway through day 1.
A quarter of the game's already completed. You can kind of see Cooper, Reed, trying to see if anybody else is going to make a late rotation off the side of that mountain. They're ready and waiting for it to happen. QK and Khan, 57 below the damage threshold. Right now, it is going to be a 2-tick, but that's going to quickly switch on over to a 5-tick. So timing is of the essence to get in towards the zone. So they don't necessarily have to rush for the Storm Surge. QK does anyway. Not only gets the elimination, but puts them above the damage threshold. And it's usually when you're on that line, Monster, teams get desperate and they start to make mistakes. So glad to see them already answer the call.
Yeah, their timing couldn't have been better. Like, the zone pulls to their side. So many teams are exiting from the Wadki land, storm into the edge, kind of congested positioning there. And I want to update from CLIX and Higgs as well. Like, this is their drop, right? This is the dream scenario. You're in the lead point-wise. Then you get the whole zone to land on top of your POI when you normally play natural high ground. This is a crazy development happening in general right now for Game 3. Bolts and Acorn have invested a lot to get to the safety here. And look at this. Not a lot of heals to work with, so the pizza box comes out. This is obviously, I'd say, the best heal, right? Like, in the game right now, for sure, as far as quick heals are concerned.
Look at the background. Creon went down. Almost held my breath. Thought it was somebody else for a moment. Paper is going to be knocked as well. A couple of players left as solos in some big moments here. No bigger moment than this for Rezi. 348 below the damage threshold. Rezi literally put the team on his back just to get this spot in finals. 2 games gone already. 341. Quickly has to start to make a play. 15 players need to go down. He might have an opportunity to out-heal this Monster. 2 pizza slices, 3 med kits. He does have a full chug jug as well. I just wouldn't necessarily advise it as a solo.
This is crazy because while we've been been watching Rezi, just to his bottom left, you have Veno and Curve, and I saw Curve pick up 2 eliminations, by the way. So Rezi's trying to find opportunity, and then you have someone like Curve just lacing up the lobby, and all the chances that might have been his in his general vicinity. So it couldn't be worse for Rezi right now. For CLIX and Higgs, though, this is the update I wanted. 500 above. They have no worries in the world right now in maximum material. What a clean rotate here. They're not quite safe just yet, but plenty of time to work with. No pressure right now for our position leaders for the most part.
This is where we could start to see an interesting end game. You see all the trees, Monster? You see every single one of those trees. Well, the thick ones, they have a huge amount of HP, and you can connect to them as well in this end game. And more of them as we go towards the south are going to be in play. So we're going to have teams that not only can contest the high ground, can hold on to it for longer than usual. Cold and Rapid try to make their way in, moving forward, almost run into PETERBOT and Poyo as they're almost 1,000 damage above the threshold. Monster, this is one of the things that you wanted to pay close attention to, and right now, from one game to the next, this is night and day here for PETERBOT and Poyo.
Yeah, definitely. They're playing aggressive right now. It's almost as if they say, or are feeling like they need to earn a bunch of points if they want to stay competitive for first place. And they're playing like someone owes them something right now, big time. Meanwhile, Curve, though, as exceptional as he has been, he has lost Veno on the rotate here, so he's now left by himself. Meanwhile, you look to high ground, and look who it is. My, it's not a bird. It's CLIX. It's Higgs up top right now, getting positioned.
Just like in a couple of the other games, I stopped asking myself when I see certain players going up the high ground, is it too early? I think CLIX and Higgs have proved it's never too early for them to try to take that high ground, especially in a zone like this where you have all those trees that you can actually attach to maintain your position on height. But for now, CLIX and Higgs just continue to look down below, realize the zone is going to force players not only out of their boxes, but to shockwave from point A to point B, and that's going to be the best chances they get to beam people out of the sky. You see a good amount of damage landing on Cold before he gets to the front side of the zone.
And you saw the hesitation there, just trying to see if Rapid was with them. Fortunately, ends up on a different layer there for a second, but reunited now. Looking to kind of reposition, refresh up. Up top, CLIX and Higgs have this juggernaut of a positioning over the rest of the lobby, connected to that big trunk of the tree there, and they're just so high up that no one's going to be able to contest them, I don't think. So they might just be able to waltz their way into the end game. Muzz, Sphinx here fighting for what they can do right now. And they're starting to run out of material though, Jacob. This is getting really desperate for Muzz and Sphinx.
Yeah, but you can see Muzz just sliding through a couple of those closed boxes before he gets in zone. CLIX and Higgs continue to elevate themselves higher and higher because they know the shockwave with the Fizz, anybody can contest that high ground in a moment's notice. We've already seen it throughout 2 games so far as PETERBOT peaks at the perfect time, finds another knock. Elimination going to be cleaned up elsewhere. Even Sphinx going down. Acorn cleans up another elimination. You see in Threats going down in the corner. It just goes to show that these players that are on that mid layer are just bumping heads back and forth just to get inches in a game that seems a mile long.
Finally, Cold and Rapid get their first eliminations here in the end game. Bit uncharacteristic of them to not have a several set of elims right now, given how they like to play aggressively in these end games. But don't count them out just yet. PETERBOT, Poyo continue to turn up here as well. Living off the refreshes right now. They have Osid in sight. They take them down so quickly. You can run, but you can't hide. Poyo and PETERBOT for the first time playing side by side in the end game, and what feels like the entirety of today. Visuals, Braids on the other side, coming off that victory royale now. Still trying to maintain momentum here, but when you look to the high ground, not a soul has decided to contest CLIX and Higgs just yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's very many opportunities. The way they have it set up as well, that one's clean. Poyo almost gets blocked off away from PETERBOT, but he's not letting go. He's not giving up on his teammates, saying there's a huge strength in numbers. We have to make it count. Cold gets another elimination as well. You said it. There are 4 eliminations here, and they're looking for a couple more. Top 14 situation. There are 5 solo players running around this lobby. Make it 6 as another one gets separated. And you notice still not a single person has even looked up or even built a single box shots higher, and that's because of CLIX and Higgs and constant pressure from above.
I'm just looking at Cold right now. He went from no elims to now 6 and a knocked body down below. He needs that Siphon to turn online like now if he wants to stay alive here. There goes the mini shields to keep him in the game. Meanwhile, PETERBOT in the bottom right is by himself, trying to clutch this one up right now. It's been the Boyo solo show all week long, and now it's up to PETERBOT to show us what he's got.
Yep, one shockwave left. 5 build definitely is trying to pick the perfect moment to strike. Using the Fizz for the utility, not necessarily the shield. Cold is finally gone down. Rapid stuck outside of the zone. Acorn trying to cut off the path of Braids, but Braids takes him down. These trades going back and forth. 8 teams remain, but that's making 7 teams remain, Monster. 9 players in this game. Almost everybody left alive is solos. Rapid probably feeling the pressure. Gets a huge elimination. PETERBOT as well, but he's out of build. Huge flank on the one. Almost gets chance down before he gets demolished himself.
A sliver of HP, and PETERBOT would have had it and earned a little bit more, but CLIX and Higgs are here on the high ground. They're looking to get another victory royale here and now. They want it more than everyone else. Rapid to solo. He gets finished up. Higgs is the one who does the job in the end there. And game 3, Jacob, lets CLIX and Higgs off to the races.
Already, Monster, we have our first back-to-back victory royales from CLIX and Higgs. They got their wonky land uncontested. For the utility, not necessarily the shield. Cold is finally gone down. Rapid stuck outside of the zone. Acorn trying to cut off the path. For the utility, not necessarily the shield. Cold is finally gone down. Rapid stuck outside of the zone. Acorn trying to cut off the path of Braids, but Braids takes him down. These trades going back and forth. 8 teams remain, but that's making 7 teams remain, Monster. 9 players in this game. Almost everybody left alive is solos. Rapid probably feeling the pressure. Gets a huge elimination. PETERBOT as well, but he's out of build. Huge flank on the one. Almost gets chance down before he gets demolished himself.
A sliver of HP, and PETERBOT would have had it and earned a little bit more, but CLIX and Higgs are here on the high ground. They're
In game 3, it was a breeze. Nobody looked up. I don't even know what was going on in that lobby. We were so busy watching the eliminations that were kind of happening on the lower ground. People were going crazy down there, and CLIX and Higgs, you know, again, one of those situations where what did they end the game with right there? Like 3 eliminations. I know I saw they had 2 in like 11 zone. No real refreshes are coming in, and they are somehow tarping the entirety of these end games from 8th zone throughout. Nobody's looking up, Kelly.
I will say, though, they're not tarping, and they keep doing that, where they're actually split, and they're kind of creating these 2 towers where CLIX will launch forward at the front of zone, and they don't tarp over, which kind of saves their materials. It's now allowing CLIX to kind of get these refreshes, or at least get some shots onto low ground. It's amazing, Zeke. And again, this is just halfway through day 1.
Can we get the back 3 back? That's all I want. That's all I want, back 3 back. Fortnite fan, we hope you are enjoying all of the action. That was game number 3. We still have 3 to go. First, a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at this lobby list. You're going about to be in shock. We'll see you in just a moment.
And press deafened. I was like, and it's happening. All right, what do we got here, Chad? What do we got? Oh,
You should
shit.
game 4 now.
Wait, they're tied. Wait, they're literally not even in first. Like,
Who said?
what the fuck? No, I thought you were deafened because you were going to coach, but we're actually tied.
It's a bad prediction.
What the fuck? I mean, this is very bad for you. Yeah, we fucking sucked, bro. We had Cold Rapid in 6th. I mean, they were not looking that crazy coming into this, but like, CLIX Higgs, Cold Rapid, Ages Ritual, Visual Sprays, and P-Point. My Preds aren't too bad. Kills were so much. Yeah, 4 points per kill is kind of crazy. Damn, 210 and 210. 11, 5, and 4 elims. 3, 4, and 2. Damn. I mean, they're fucking hell though. 2 wins though, dude. You cannot sleep on 2 wins out of 3. So
you
good.
can't, but like, it's like so scary because like,
yeah,
they have no eliminations. Like this is the pace they have to maintain. It's nuts.
Yeah, the fact they've won 2 out of 3, like they have to maintain a 2 out of 3 win. That is crazy. I mean, but yeah, I mean, for Higgs' confidence though, like if we were worried about Higgs first grants IGL, like can he handle the pressure? Holy fuck. To be fair, like these look so free. Once they taking it takes literally 2 ramps, and they just sit on it and just pop off.
Yeah.
Do you think people land on CLIX at all today? I said game 5. I said game 4, chat, before this tournament even started. Am I clairvoyant? Am I the truth?
I think their paranoia helps them. Because even scouting out Acorn and Zone there, like they're
Yeah.
just so hyper aware on that.
Yeah.
Like they're actually playing it so fucking well.
I mean, CLIX have been burnt too many times, bro. He's played these games before. How do they condition the lobby? Why can they when no one else could? Well, I guess we just all talked about how shit high ground is, and CLIX and Higgs just said, fuck it. If everyone thinks it's shit, then we'll just take it. Because, like, on EU, there was no one consistently holding high chat. Yanis kind of,
They also
but, like, it was getting challenged way more. Sky and Scroll are dominating EU this morning, all off low ground. Like, literally ulti low.
I mean, they get no kills because they're looking like they're fully hyper right now.
Yeah.
Like, from shockwaves, they invest in not getting kills to win the game.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know how to feel about it.
You're not.
Bro, not to set every fuck. Oh
It's
my
really
lord.
gonna be every time.
Like this.
I mean, to be fair though, chat, like no one, like that game there, no one could look for it because they were on the fucking moon with the trees. That was very smart. That's like what they did with the gloves back during Div Cup, but. That was just for you, Fred. I turned up just for you. I know how much you love that part of the ad, so I just want to make sure I turn up really loud.
Stay there.
I just realized something.
Yes.
Earlier when you made tea, it was like during the milk ad,
Yeah.
and then Fred said you should make one, and I thought he said make tea, and I was like, you know what, you're right, and I went and made tea.
But he made the
He meant
ad.
the fucking
No, I was
ad.
talking about new
Yeah.
ads, bro.
Real quickly, I said
What team did you get, bro? What's
lobby list,
the
what I meant
tea?
was Standings. In case
Some
you were just
chamomile,
tuning in,
man.
you've missed.
I got the
fact
throat
that
coat
Higgs
going.
got
It's not helping that much.
What?
back-to-back victory royales.
It's called
Excuse
throat
me?
Major
coat with a C.
finals
Throat
lobby.
coat.
Now, I told
Coat,
you that you
coat,
would be shocked.
coat.
Now, remember,
Coat,
you know,
coat
you
in your
were like,
throat.
"Ah,
It's-
let's
Yes,
coat
it
in
coats your
right?"
throat. Okay,
Well,
chill.
you know what's crazy?
My
They
voice is
are
dying. Leave me
kind of
alone.
in
It's like a
first
singer.
place
It's
right
like
now
a.
as Bree bring
It's basically
up
like the
the
main remedy for
standings, but
singers and casters.
Interestingly enough, Kelly, we are actually tied.
It's like licorice and shit. It's weird. It doesn't taste that
Golden
nice,
Rapid
but it's actually so
decided, you know
good.
what we're gonna do in this last game? We're gonna get a second place with 11
Man, whatever
eliminations,
gets you
and
better,
here
man.
we are. Scores are tied.
I mean, Vivid, you're asking how, but between 9 and 20 eliminations, that right there is a 44-point difference. And if we look at their average placement, yes, CLIX and Higgs do have a 2.33 average placement, but Cold and Rapid are right behind them with a 5.67
Was that a bird?
average
It's just
placement.
Zeke, bro.
So
Is it a bird?
we
It's a
talked
plane.
about it.
Just
We'll
Zeke
talk about it
geeking out,
again,
our
that
goat.
It doesn't just need
Thank you,
one
Taco, the
facet
Prime.
of your game to do well. You can't just grab a bunch of eliminations, or you can't just grab a bunch of wins. You have to be able to do both, and that is what Cold and Rapid are doing.
Ooh.
They're making sure that they are making it
Yeah,
to the
man,
end
Cold and
game
Rapid
every
play this
single
fucking
time.
great.
For some
Holy
reason,
shit.
someone's giving them the mythic reloader, and this is what is
No,
allowing
yeah,
them
Tat, we
to
can't
just
do the
have
V-Buck giveaways
so
anymore, man.
much
Fortnite
damage
fucked
and
us.
so much control on the low ground that the teams that are on high ground, like CLIX, is not even able to get any eliminations.
Ew.
Damn, this
Oh
was
my
a crazy
God,
1v2.
Rapid
Oh my
fending
god.
off, winning.
And then he beat Wages there too.
1v2
That was
there on
insane.
Logan. I didn't even catch that. But as you can see there, when we actually tuned into Rapid, when that solo clutch started, they were on 180 points when Cold went down. So Rapid himself just being a solo in the end game, picking up 1v2s
He's
like
Senio
that.
with the Prime. Thanks, man.
Picked up 30 points to put them on 210. So an incredible performance right there from
Where'd
Rapid.
Fred go?
Kind of keep them at the top.
Interesting.
of the
Fred's
league.
deaf, has he?
And that was the game
Oh.
that like we were
Welcome
calling
back,
out
Fred.
for,
Oh, he's
right?
back. What's up, Fred?
Right before
Welcome back,
this
here
game,
the whole
we were
time.
saying, you know, we're
Of
kind of
course.
waiting for that big pop-off.
Acorn should be
Golden
doing better with
Rapid
his
game.
zones, to be fair,
And they
yeah.
just had it, right? And it's enough to go ahead and
Just
tie
CLIX?
up
Like,
first.
he's
We
died, I
have
think,
a competition on
all
our
3
hands
games to
that
CLIX,
is
actually.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that is insane.
crazy.
No, chat, we
Man,
can't do
even
V-Buck
Angels
giveaways
and
because of
Rich
like
right
the
now
whole
holding
like
on, and I think what's
regional
crazy
locked
too,
pricing and
if you
shit,
look
chat.
at fifth place,
So it
Peter
used to be I
Bottom
could give you guys
Right,
codes for
we've kinda
US
continued to
V-Bucks because they were the
see
most
Euphoria
expensive and you
get
could use them
situation
everywhere.
where
Now
one
you
of them is
can't.
left solo.
So if you
But
guys were
even
to
in
win
these
V-Bucks,
tough
we'd have to draw the
situations,
winner,
they're
find out
only
what
60
country you're
points
from,
behind. Like, this
find a
isn't
card
like,
from
hey,
your
first
country,
place
then
is like
send it to you.
100
Like it's just
points
fucking
behind or,
impossible
like,
now.
Over 100, like we saw what one good
It
game
sucks, man.
can do for Cold and Rapid, right? PETERBOT and Pollo, they just need that one game, and then suddenly like that gap closes, right?
Yeah, PETERBOT and Pollo right now are kind of just, I think they're failing from too much success. They're doing too much
Failing
on the
from
mid-ground
too much
right now,
success.
and that's kind of putting them into these a little bit of rough positions because they're being
Honestly,
so aggressive,
basically
because
the
they're looking around
summary
all
of
these
CLIX's
different angles
career.
on the mid-ground. They're getting kind of like chopped out. They're getting pulled out so that they're ending up being a solo.
I think
over
not
and
streaming
over
the squares
again.
is one of
And
the
although
smartest
it is
things he's done.
PETERBOT, and if anyone can run a solo game, it's going to be him.
Yeah,
Eventually,
genuinely.
you
I
are
mean, he
gonna need
used to
be
not
a
stream
full
grands. That's the
duo
thing people
going
don't
into the
realize. He
endgame
used to
right
not
now.
stream them.
And I think that is just the slight issue that we're having
Hey,
with
Jamie with the
PETERBOT and
Prime.
Pollo. But I say that, and if you
Hey,
look
Bonds.
historically, PETERBOT and Pollo are a day 2 team. They're already climbing up the leaderboard, Vivid. So although they might not be having the first 3 games that they want, it is definitely not the end for this duo.
Yeah, I think the larger theme here of the fact that still towards the top of our leaderboard, even like the top 10, it still feels like an incredibly
Hey, Milkman
close
with the Prime, think he
competition,
did?
even though we just had, over the course of 3 games, a team win 2 of those games. So crazy stuff kind of happening over here on NA. Every single team, every one of our top teams is picking up points some way, somehow, and they're keeping themselves in the fight.
We got 100 out of 100 in game.
Dude, Viv,
Let's
talk to me about
go.
the damage numbers
W
right now.
format.
You looked
Dude,
up a
this is
stat.
cool.
I love
Goated,
you're the stat
goated.
guy. Hit me with these stats right now. Oh, man.
Over the course of the first
Ooh,
3 games.
oh my god,
This is how our damage
5.56.
ratios are kind of
Holy
breaking down.
fuck.
CLIX and Higgs
Damn.
individually both find themselves in
Crazy as
first
shit.
and
Oh my
second
God,
place,
even off
which
hype,
I just
that's
think is
fucking
crazy.
crazy.
Because going into game number 3 right here, it kind of panned out like this as well. Like CLIX was up there like 5 plus. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to take a look at the damage ratio.
Cooper too. I'm
after
actually
game
impressed
3.
with Cooper because they've been in
Got better.
slump.
And
Well,
damage
they've been getting
ratio
zones, but like
increased
they've
somehow
been on
after
low.
game number 3. And if you remember how game number 1 and game number 2 kind of panned out, how many people were going up for higher ground, how many people were fighting them for it, and they still had like these incredibly positive damage ratios. And again, game number 3, that one, yeah, it's kind of justifiable because, you know, we talked about how nobody looked up towards high ground, so it makes sense that they didn't really take that much damage, but those guys are playing super good.
Yeah, it's still, come on, it's on high ground. They still
Wild
gotta
to me, because
take
we
height
would
without
talk
taking any damage.
So highly of Cold back when he would get like a 3.0 damage ratio.
Yeah.
That was almost unheard of. And yes, we are only halfway through. I'm sure those numbers are going to be adjusted as the tournament goes on. But absolutely incredible.
He's gonna ruin it
showing
again.
from
Oh,
CLIX.
we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, and I think if we
dude.
could just get nitpicky for like a
I mean,
second,
Pete
right?
Swan
This
is
kinda
mother's
like
life,
we're
the case is
kinda
not
like
winning.
talking about this a little
Dude,
bit more
that's-
break, but
So,
yes,
Dude, I mean, I've heard
love
so many
Oh,
players
uh,
do that for
right,
like,
but we're
damn.
not hitting those like Elam thresholds that we need to be seeing, right?
Hey,
That's
Waldo
why
with the Prime,
Golden
think he
Rapids
did.
suddenly shoot up the standings, right? Because remember, we have that extra point, Kelly, and it doesn't sound like a lot. 1 more point, okay, big deal. But these elims, they will very quickly stack
Jackson.
up, especially if you hit double digits.
Thank you for the
I mean,
sub
when you
chat.
consider
Genuinely,
one
thank you so
point
much.
is, I said
This
25% before
ridiculous.
last time, I was wrong. 33% increase is a huge stat increase for any number. And of course, when it's eliminations, when there are teams that focus on eliminations, having you just eventually just go up to them and be like, hey, that tournament that you just did, let's give you 33% more points for your eliminations. And if you look at some of these Div Cup finals, if you have it in the format for grand finals where it's 4 points per elimination, it would be very different
Thank you,
teams
Who,
in
with
the
the
top
Prime.
of our leaderboard.
Yeah. Zeke's greedy, man. He wants more. He's like, yeah, looks like I got 2 wins. I want elims. Like 2.
Why are you putting my, you know what, casters help. Just take it away.
Yeah, I want to give credit to CLIX and Higgs. I think what we're watching is the best team as far as positioning and decision-making going against the best team at eliminating
CLIX
and
is
running
taking
things on the
500
low and
damage
mid-ground
total?
right now.
Damn.
And again, it's only 3 games in, right, Jacob?
Yeah,
but
so
the
CLIX, so
identity
land
is
qual I
starting to
think
take
is
shape
around
for these
300
duos.
points.
Yeah, it
so
just almost
yeah,
seems,
CLIX is
especially
almost
with,
already
CLIX
qualled
and
land.
Higgs, is they are going to
No, wait,
win
that was when
this
it was
major
EU. Never
one,
mind, it might be more
or
than that on
lose
NA.
this
Yeah, yeah, NA will be
major
more
one
than
for
that.
Something they did or
So
didn't
not quite,
do
not
in their
quite.
own right. They have full control over their own destiny here. A little bit of a passive game plan here. That's how they've been able to get 2 victory out of Monster, and they're tied for first place. I don't want to cause any curses, but could this be the major? We're already done with half of day number 1.
Game 4
We're
curse,
jumping
here we
into
come,
game 4 to
or
start the
game
second
4
half.
buff. Let's see. CLIX's lucky number. See if it holds that way.
This game 4 is going to be an important one. It's going to be the solidifying
Ooh.
factor of how
I'm only seeing
did
one
you
team
do
go wonky.
generally here on the day.
Damn.
All you need is a good
All right,
4
my
games
game
to
4
be
was
very
incorrect.
much in a race to contest a championship weekend. And we are already 3 down. Well, one thing's for certain, though, Jacob. No one's playing super perfect just yet, right? Every duo so far has a little
There's
bit
now
more to
3
be
teams
desired
here.
in one area
Bro,
over another.
what?
Yeah, what the fuck am I
I was
watching?
gonna say
Oh, fuck
Sniper
no.
Dude and Avenger
I sniped
reaching
an
on
Avenger
over to
here.
this side of the map to try to take on Jack and Npen. Avenger And Sniper, dude, they were landing on the eastern side of the map. Almost
Ooh,
triple
Zen takes down
contesting their
Prom.
drop. I thought
Lucky
they
Zen might be
were gonna
winning.
make their way on over
Peter
towards
Con.
Wonky Land, because that is where they
Wait,
have
really?
been playing
Surely
time
not.
in and time out, whether if it's a divisional cup or the actual finals lobbies. They're trying to switch things up more so in their favor. Paper and Resi split
Say
drop
Peace
here.
Con?
You can see the
Must
two
kill up
differences.
there.
Top of the mountain,
Yeah, I think
inside
so.
the house, and Takes
Nah,
already
there's no way.
landing a good amount of
Who
damage
was it?
onto Paper as he tries to make his way
I
down.
don't know.
Yeah,
There's
great
just the
amount of
fucking
damage
markers.
right there being
And the whole
secured.
fucking chat spamming.
Resi stopping to back up and
Might
get
just
to
be
the
gliding over, you
usual
know?
plan here for the
Like
loot.
Maybe.
us, maybe.
Opponents back off as well.
I feel like we would have seen it already if they were.
Anyway, CLIX Higgs on the
All
other
right, well,
side.
CLIX Higgs chilling, chat. Wow.
Still
Still
so
unconned,
far,
okay.
No team has decided to give them
I love
any
how Monster
friction
says
just
that.
yet.
Still no team.
Everyone's somewhat sticking to their strategy, sticking to the game plan, if you will.
He's had a peek at his
Quick
kill
highlight,
then.
though. At the Sanctuary, nice little elim here for Sinwatch.
Oh,
Got Chimp over here on this side of the map. This side of the map is just
Look at the
so
zone, by the way.
stacked. Even if you're uncontested, it's never
interesting.
easy to make your way on out.
To a far
Chimp
west zone.
sees a battle in the distance, easily third parties it for a good amount of damage, forcing
That's very good
Ruins
for
to go
the
down
big
low.
clicks.
Catman getting knocked all
Yeah,
together.
this should be
The
very
team
good
actually
clicks to report
officially
north.
eliminated thanks to more than one team looking on over in this direction. It's not slowing
Dude,
down.
this
either.
area of the
Zyke
map
and
is
Void
so
making their
unbelievably
way
griefed on
over,
both
hearing some of
regions.
the noise, and they're just trying to figure out what is it all
Hey,
about.
Dragon,
Dude,
you
it's
get to
actually
take him in.
killing me.
I was gonna say, remember Zythe and Void
Is that
were
50?
just
Like,
putting some
all the
shots
new
onto
teams
paper
are just,
and
like,
Resi
conning
and
each other.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
It's interesting to see how
Hilarious.
many
This
teams
corner
are
of the
willing
map
to
was just the fucking
quickly
power vacuum on
rotate
E1
towards
NA
the
of just like the
Sanctuary to
last
get in on
spot.
the
So like,
action
oh, well,
here.
fuck it. I guess I'll con this team for 6 chests in the
Yeah, no,
desert.
everything seems to settle down now, Jacob.
Oh, they're
Oh.
king.
What's this different approach? You know, they must
think
have
they
been
might be
listening to
scared
the
of,
stream. Zeke was like, I want
Mm,
elims. Kelly's saying 4
yeah.
points per. We could
Try
probably
and get
see
early
from
damage in.
leaderboard if that's how it's going to be. CLIX
Oh,
Higgs
shit.
saying, you know
Okay,
what?
okay.
Things have been decided.
She's doing
by
good at
less
staying
than
alive,
one
too, I'm not gonna lie.
elimination.
Yeah, Dolzy
The
and Ishu
majors
are
have
actually not
proven
easy
the
cl-
last
easy
three all
kills.
last year, Monster, were all decided by either 4 or less eliminations, proving that it could be the difference
Interesting.
maker here. Even with 2 wins,
It's not
tied
good, though.
in
They have less
first
than us now.
place with Cold
Oh,
and
they did.
Rapid. Who
Nice.
guess
Oh,
what,
and
Monster,
Dolzy and
has
Ishu
been
run.
picking up
Fuck, that cost them a lot
eliminations.
then.
So
If
CLIX
those
and
kids were
Higgs
just
trying to
smart, they would
take
just go
a
one
page
kill
out of
and
their own
take their
playbook
spot,
here,
but
Yeah.
trying
I
to go
can't.
aggressive for the
I
north
don't
side
think
of the
they'll
map
use their brain that
instead of
much.
just sitting at
Or that we
Wonky
scared
Land and
too,
letting
honestly.
teams and damage pass you by.
Yeah, but they
I
can't
like
really
it.
get
It
back
seems like
up.
this game they had a bit of a
If you just go in
different
the mountain, just
strategy.
hold them.
Obviously, early game fight super
Do you
important.
think Venom's lost full
More
composure yet or no?
importantly is they recognize, hey, the zone's right
I
on
mean,
top
he's
of us.
raging.
So they
Yeah.
kind of pull this card
I don't know
out.
if you
Like,
heard
it's been
50,
too
but
slow, you know? Like, he might just shock you when
Let's
someone
see
just
it
starts
back
game,
on
you
over
know?
to Venno and
Venom was
Curve
in my
also
chat
staying
yesterday.
relatively
50 saying
tight.
he's been
I
IGLing for the
wouldn't
last
be
2
surprised
weeks.
if
So
he here.
Just
Like, I was about to say.
full-on clash
Yeah.
happening here in front of us.
This is place he wouldn't do normally, but he's behind and he's like
Great tag
tilting.
so far. Curve thinking about going in for the shockwave there for a
You
second.
got no more shockwaves. I think that's a blessing in disguise.
Oh, those are some big tags. Wouldn't
Maybe
be
not if
surprised
you hit that
now's
guy
the
so
time.
much. Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
was
going.
about to say, now it's Shockwave, just thinking in my head. Curve does exactly that. Shockwave's over. Close the distance, reunites with Venom, trying to take 2 different approaches. Electro just trying to hold him off, but the persistence is there, not only from one,
don't
but
need this
both
fight
of
to
these
be in the
players.
side,
But Venom goes
Damn.
down.
Yeah,
He
wow.
enters into the box,
Oh my
2v1. Electro,
God.
get
Well,
that elimination. Curve with no shield. Honestly, 55
I don't know
HP,
what happened,
almost
bro.
1 shot
Like,
away from going down.
You just felt
know
it. Like,
that
I
one
wanted
to
to
be
put
on the
Curve Venom
chase.
high on my pred because, like, I just
Tyler
hoped, but, like, you
Chance
could just feel it
moving
the last, like,
fast
week or
as
2. They
well
just
here.
lost composure.
Curve, though, doesn't get caught out by the visual audio cue there while he was eating
And that's fucked.
pizzas. Lucky for him.
And like now you're gonna be so much behind that you
Look,
can't
he
even.
actually had to ditch what was left of the box
Yeah.
just to stay low here. Take a look, though. We haven't seen Venno lose a fight like this here. Not
Damn,
today. He's
wow.
been winning these
Yeah,
for
that's
the
funny.
most part. For
Yeah,
Electro.
wow.
Just
Hit him hard,
connects some
too.
big tags there.
Right, Fred?
Oh what?
Before we went into the
Oh,
replay,
yeah.
Monster
Hit him hard there, too. It's good damage.
stealing his pizza.
I'm sure if in
Man,
couple
I
was in there
can let
fucking
them
giggling,
do
jumping in
that,
his chair.
But, hey, sometimes you just gotta let them run away with it, or at least think they can, so that way you can hopefully get Venno back into the game. Consistency is definitely going to be key throughout the weekend. Yes, we do have our top 2, but you see a little bit of a gap start to open up from 3rd and down. And
Yo,
honestly,
what's
that's
up, Jace. Appreciate the love, chat. Thank you so much.
Wait, they sit on top of the
to the
cube.
summit
Oh, what the
land.
fuck? If someone shoots that, does it
See,
launch
not
them? Well,
just
no, I
first
don't know how that
place,
works.
yes, not just the mountain
Yeah.
surprise money, but just to keep your journey.
Oh, sorry, Jack.
Someone
Sorry.
just shoot the cube, then they bounce up and you
No,
get
we were all
switch.
curious on how Rituals and Ager Storm Surge
Sorry, Chad,
strategies
just blew my
would work out
nose.
in the early game. So far, we haven't
I think
quite
Pete's moving towards
seen
Wonky.
their definitive route But we
Yeah,
are
decent
seeing a
zone.
little sample of it. Agers just playing that high ground right now, looking to tag any teams in the general area who are boxing and or rotating around, and they seem to be playing their drop very deep into the storm. And
Think
so
next
far
for the
it's working
prime?
for them, right? As they're finding themselves in the top 5.
Oh no, P-Point are chilling, Chad. They haven't made any play towards
Different
CLIX
shot
at
for
all.
them now. Playing the
Interesting.
big base here
Yeah, there's
as
no
well.
reason to. It's
Last
not
game,
that
they
many
were
points, you
pretty
know?
much boots on the ground, keying into boxes.
It's
and
55.
teams
That's what,
anywhere
10, 11
in
kills?
the vicinity.
Yeah.
But
Kind of
for all we
insane,
know,
that's actually,
PETERBOT's
yeah.
just looking to call a target out.
You know, there was a time a
One
few
big
months
game.
ago.
They know they like
before
CLIX base though right
FNCS
now is a
Divisional
little
Cups even started.
like
And PETERBOT was
not
kind of taking a
guaranteed
little
games,
bit
you
of a
know?
break. Players were looking at
Ooh,
CLIX and
Cooper.
Higgs saying they are the team to beat.
Oh,
Higgs
it's
is
Cooper.
the
But they killed
best
someone.
player
I was
in
about
the
to
game
say.
Fly on
right
someone? They
now.
might have flyed
They
us
landed
there.
on
Yeah, they
someone.
flew on
Yeah,
someone off
it's
the god pad.
Season,
W,
it doesn't
Cooper Reed.
matter. PETERBOT's not trying. Guess what? Divisional Cups
That's
roll
something I don't
around, the same
understand,
type of conversation
like
continues to start
Acorn,
up.
Shep,
And guess what?
Flixie.
PETERBOT shows
Yeah,
up and
Eyedrop
shuts
Mary
down
is
the
like why
talk.
they don't
But
do it.
now
Yeah,
that
just fire
Maybe
people's
not
heads.
Acorn, but like
is
Shep,
actually
Flixie, Eyedrop
here,
Mary.
we got
There's so
CLIX
many
and
solos.
Higgs
Just go
proving that,
replay, bro.
hey,
Like, after every
maybe
single game, you have so
teams were
much time.
calling it a little
So
early,
replay,
but
find that the search
they
tower
could
and
be
like just
right.
land on them.
With the
No,
way
I
they've been
agree.
playing
I
so
do
far,
agree.
you have to watch
He's
out.
gonna
Not
find the
only
timing.
those
I mean, I
teams
feel like Age
mentioned,
and
but
Richie
all
and
the around
Cheater
the
Publish
Yeah,
are
that's
doing
so
that
easy.
too
has
with the
been on an
cubes.
insane
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
find people's
streak to
rotate
start
timings and just
the year.
fucking
He's
fly
even
on.
had
Just
a
do it to
second
different
place
people
in
each
years
game.
prior with Higgs in a different
Yep.
tournament, so he has right now a good as chance as anybody else to probably win this tournament.
It's crazy when you think reputation. To have a reputation like Codes where it's like, don't worry, he's going to show up and do what he needs to do is actually just incredible.
Damn.
He
I
is
can't believe
doing
Veeps
it
doing this
so
well
far.
from
He
12
was-
chess
yeah,
too.
We're only 3 games in.
132 from fucking
Really
Sus
about to
Studios.
call it, right? There's a lot of Fortnite ahead of us, and I'm sure we're gonna see.
How's
tons of
CLIX in first, bro?
adjustments,
2 wins out of 3,
especially
man.
Not only for the last 2 games, but leaning into tomorrow. Who's gonna pick up?
Is there a world that if Colton Rapid is in the running tomorrow, they land on CLIX? It doesn't sound like something Rapid would do, but maybe.
Of course, have to see that.
Definitely
Visual
not.
braids.
Yeah.
It's because
Continuing
they're definitely
somewhat
thinking
of
like
a-
as
of
long
the
as they
pace,
keep their
if you
pace
will,
up,
right? Game 1
and Pete
was
lands
a
on CLIX,
victory.
they'll
Obviously, the
win.
last
Sure,
2 not
that's it.
quite so, but they've still managed to stay very much in the competition so far. They're looking like a shoe-in potentially for the land spot.
Yeah, I think that's one of the benefits of their drop spot here.
What happened to
A little
Veno? I
bit of a
don't know,
split
man.
drop
He's just
just
he
outside
seems to be
of
very
Dark Dominion. You see the
uncomposed
fun
right
fact
now.
with Carmine Lodge. It's kind of the
Wait, why
split
is he
between the two.
Fuck.
No
I
matter
don't know what this
where
is.
the zone actually holds, they set up on
I think
that
because they're
mountain
camping the
because
card,
whether it
maybe?
goes
Are they
north,
camping the
south, east, or
card? So
west,
he's camping
chances
them
are
camping the
teams
card? I
are
actually
gonna
don't know
have
what
to
this is.
rotate through them.
I think he
or at
went
least
for the
the
card
paths
and
where
they came
can
back,
get
came back
shots.
maybe.
The
Oh,
Timid
Maybe.
Curve
Ooh,
still
wait,
scores
who's
Oh, it
this?
is what?
lurk
Who's
around. They
this?
are just
Oh, it's
waiting
Avenger.
for
What?
there.
They
Even
just
when you
came.
can buy Reaping
Who's
cards,
Avenger?
Curve is just left with very few
Then you got the
choices
wall
here.
there.
It's
This is the
Avenger
team
and
that was meant
Sniper
to
Dude.
con
Talk about them
CLIX Higgs.
possibly making their return to Wonky Land. It wasn't
Oh.
at the start of this game, but they're still making their presence known over here.
Higgs clicks already
Interesting.
looking to secure some
He
eliminations
needs
right
to
now.
farm
Again,
4 in the
nothing
middle
has
though.
come of
You
it
can't
just yet.
fucking...
CLIX has
There's a team that
2,244
they're
AR
outside,
damage. The next
pretty
highest
sure
player
they
is
recognize
1,147.
that duo
Yeah,
behind
so that means he has
wall there.
300 shotgun damage for like 400.
Clicks,
Yeah,
though,
fucking
has
Height
a
Warriors,
lot
That's
baby.
very
to be
little.
desired when it comes to the
Thinking
overall
Navy?
loadout just so far. That material count looking a bit light.
It's just NA term. If you want to win NA, bro, you got to play so
Comes
flawless.
Big super
fact that
pad
CLIX has
set
won
up
2
right
out of
now
3, it
for
just
Equal
kills, man.
Bolts. They're playing this.
But bro, it's just how good people get in this
rotate
game,
through
man.
the
Even look
dead
at
side of
EU,
the
bro.
stream.
Sky and
Actually
Skull
went
had
off the
one
stage,
bad
so
game.
you
They
see
were
the
playing
marker
so
coming
well
up.
until game 6.
Yeah, and because we saw what CLIX and Higgs, Sniper Dude, Avenger, even saw Cole and Madden all converging over towards Wonky Land. This is going to make it essentially a free rotation towards the western edge of the map. All the
There's
teams
actually
that
no
could
wind,
land
like,
those
bending
shots
here.
are
They have to land
already
tilted now.
busy, focused
Yeah, they're going to have to go really
on
fast.
they don't wanna use the
entirely
vending.
something else.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay alive, trying to get surge. So
Thinking
we should
SM?
see
Why is
Acorn
Booger not
Bolts in
playing?
a good
Booger
position
got
this game
DQ'd like
around.
the other people did a few days
Better
ago,
late than
man.
never in the second half of the day. Trying
Thank you.
to
Is it
play
Mal?
catch
Thank you,
up
Neon.
to
Thanks
what's
so
been
much.
going on around
You,
here
Nick.
throughout the game so far. Listen and Aloe, same thing so far. 16
think it proves the
points.
kills
Half
are
of
worth too
those
much?
coming
No, I
in
think it's
this
fine.
game alone, contested towards the new
I think the format's fine,
kills are
chat.
hard getting in the grand.
Yeah,
eliminations,
getting
and
kills,
sometimes you
especially
just
with
need a
this
big
surge in
moment
grand
like
stats,
that
should be
to get things
rewarded.
going.
You flank, Aiden.
Curve, who was sitting at the reboot card while Electro and company were just lurking, holding it down, talking
Taking
about that
so
team. You
much
can see in
for
the
that. I
distance
like
here,
it.
Threats
Okay.
actually putting down some shots onto
Ooh,
them. as
82
they thought
threats.
they
Come
were
on, come on.
slick hiding out there.
Oh, spot them.
For Threats and
Spot them,
Veer.
Threats.
They might have just
Brother, they're running straight to the gas
saved
station.
Veno's
Hello? Hello?
tournament here.
Oh,
He sees
no.
them, right?
If that
He did,
distraction
he did,
is
he
enough
did.
for
Sorry,
Electro
sorry,
and crew
sorry.
to have to make a move.
Still relatively early. One tick, storm damage, plenty of time to decide. See, listen, Aloe rotating on over towards
He fouling Haldino?
Studios, one of the
Chromie?
last teams. Say from this
John?
side of the map, you'd still do that a couple more over towards New Sanctuary, but they're just kind of making
Oh my
a
god,
pit
Talus,
stop,
Talus, so
healing
many
up
subs. Holy
before
shit,
they
chat.
make
The
the
fuck? I'm
rotation on
ninja in
out.
this
You see
bitch.
the zip line, they're not
There's 2
necessarily going to
Calus.
carry that into the end of
Huh?
the game.
This is
They're
how-
just
this is
going
how-
to use
hey,
it
this
for
is how
right now.
famous I am, bro.
That way they can make this rotation just a little bit easier. As Penta spots an opportunity in the distance, he immediately...
Nah,
Okay, they
it's
might
real-
get the reboot. That's not bad.
This is crazy
We got
because
shit
it's
built, though.
actually 300
It's very hard to
damage
get
above
kills
the
on
surf
high
somehow.
term in this meta.
Still
Very
has a
hard.
solo. It looks like he might have been putting up a
Because
strong
the only way you get
defense
kills on height
against
is in metas
Zypta
where you can drop down
there
safely
for
and
a
go for like
second,
edits, but in
and
this
now
meta, if you drop down, they just shock
contemplating
above you and you
if
lose
it's
it.
time to
So
go for the reboot, but of course he's gonna make
that's
a
kind of
quick
one of the
pit stop
downsides
here
of
for
height in this meta.
Machine.
You have to play really
He's gonna pick
high.
up some heals to go in and sustain himself here in the storm. I mean,
Fortnite tweet.
odds. What do you think the odds are
Oh.
looking like right now for Curve here?
Let's use the word legit. Like, we've realized there is legit confusion on whether Fortnite competitive rules allow for use of drop calculators, which have evolved from being static websites to real-time tools connected to the game you're in. This confusion stems from the current phrasing of our prohibition using any kind of cheating device program, blah, blah. We'll be updating this to reinforce that these devices, programs, and methods are prohibited if they have any access to the real-time state of the game being played. Okay. This will include overlays that feed real-time screen information from the Fortnite client to competitive advantage analysis tools, whereas things like informational web pages that don't access the current game state are okay. Okay, that's good. Given the confusion on
Wait,
this
what? They
disqualified...
just said
What?
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 What the fuck
Bro,
were
this
they
game
saying?
is so troll. What the fuck?
The bad news. Due to the tournament timing, the lobbies are now full for this event and it's too late for them to continue the current tournament. Just take this out.
What the fuck?
Just take this out.
No,
Just
no,
take
no,
this out.
no.
50, 50, 50, 50.
What the? That's literally grounds for a lawsuit. What the fuck are they doing?
Why would they ever include this? Why would they ever include this?
ever say that
What
ever?
are they saying? Who tweeted this?
Wait, so it's allowed though?
Well, it's not allowed, but it also means now if you find some new thing that falls into a gray area, you might get DQ, but maybe you won't. And if they do, they might un-DQ you. Like, bro.
No, so they might
Oh
be
my
claiming.
God.
No, but they just said it's
that-
allowed though, no?
No, they say it's not allowed.
No. You say we'll be updating. They called it a gray area, right? Anything that has real time, so memory, screen recording, so anything that accesses the backend files or files. This is the thing. Josh's app in like it was using files that were
Moving zone right
made
now.
publicly available through Overwolf's devs who
Yeah.
had communication with Epic.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the issue. And I don't
Yeah.
even think they knew that.
Bruh. Dude, that is one of the...
Why the fuck
like,
would they ever put that in the tweet?
I don't know, bro. Fortnite competitive have some horrific
The tweet was so
communication,
good
but that is so bad.
until they said, by the way, they should
Wow.
play, but we built out the lobby, so unlucky, guys.
What the fuck have I just read? That makes it so much worse.
My God.
Bro.
I'm like,
I
"You're
just,
too
I'm
funny.
literally
You are
sitting
too
here.
funny."
I'm literally sitting here just like baffled. Like I just can't fathom why they would ever say that.
My fault, we DQ'd you guys.
Yeah, like who reads these tweets and like, yeah, that's good to go, good to go. Post it,
dude,
post
what?
it. Get it out, spread the information.
I just don't understand how we can never get good communication, and then when they do give communication, it's
Lobbies
so
are now
bad,
filled out.
bro.
Say not necessarily enough to get above, but they do jump 65.
No, they are
above
dead
that
ass too
threshold.
funny. I can't lie, they're actually funny.
Continue to hold
Dude.
that
This game isn't.
confidence.
It's like
No.
April Fools, bro.
Dude, NJC, I don't even know, bro. Like I'm actually at a loss for words. Like that's just. But like they've admitted that what people did was against the rules, and you will be punished for it. So why like walk
Yeah,
back
but why
the
would they say it's a
DQs?
mistake then? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It was so good until they just said that it should be.
So now they've done the worst of both worlds. They've DQ'd people so they can't play FNCS, but then haven't even like instilled the fear of being DQ'd in the future. They've literally done the worst of both worlds. Again, it would have been better if they said nothing. How do
maybe
they do this?
Yeah, maybe they should stick to no communication at all. Because when they communicate, they sound kind of like how do I say
Whoa,
this?
there's
Like,
an elephant. Hold up, there's an elephant. CLIX and Higgs.
Oh,
Higgs is dead.
Higgs is dead. Oh shit, we're gonna lock back in,
It's
chat.
fine. We might just restart by game 11 anyways.
I mean, fuck it, they might just rerun the whole tournament, eh?
Oh my gosh.
I'm watching Muzz kind of go crazy as we tune in. Higgs is
Dude.
already down.
I guess that push on
That's actually the
Solskjaer
most
wasn't worth
In his
it.
struggle here, he's already picked up the elimination. No, he does not make it over in time. Higgs goes down. That kind of leaves a lot of pressure on to CLIX. top 34 monster placement points have yet to set in, so this is only a 4-point game so far.
Time for experimental 110 player lobbies. Bro, they DQ'd like 15 players. Like 16 players, I'm pretty sure.
So he has to burn through his materials before he's eventually taken down. The back-to-back will not be a back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah, and that was crazy for him to get the siphon right there to kind of stay in the game. It was looking like there was hope for a moment.
This is actually, I think, the worst. Genuinely, like in my years of esports, I think this is the worst public statement I've ever seen.
I'm trying to think, like imagine how could you handle this situation any worse or no? I guess did they actually do their best at doing the worst?
But like, what do you gain from specifying that? Like, genuinely, what do they gain?
I don't know. Actually, there's no. You're only creating drama. There was no need ever to put that in the tweet.
It literally just achieved nothing.
They just admitted wrong. They just like conceded and said wrong. It's wrongdoing. Hey, our bad guys, we fucked you over.
Yeah.
By the way, did CLIX die? I might have missed
CLIX dead. Yes, dead. Yes.
Yeah, my fault. There is so much.
You're good. There's a lot going on right now.
I'm saying there's no need for pizza key because you shouldn't.
Yeah.
A couple of speed bumps in their journey so far, but they're
someone TLDR what the fuck they just tweeted.
Basically, they tweeted out that
all
it
the
is cheating.
disqualifications should like be reverted, but they can't because the lobbies are filled. So enjoy your games.
But I also saw like they said like is calc removed now?
No. So drop calc is fine. Any website you go to that doesn't access the game is fine. So drop calc is fine.
Oh, okay.
The tool is not fine. But they also admitted they shouldn't have DQ'd people. There's nothing they can do now. Like, so the tweet was so good until that paragraph.
I'm so confused though. So what about the like drop calc where it also does it for you? Is that also fine?
No, the import, the bus import is also not fine. You can go on the drop calc website because it's a static separate feed. Yeah, but if it accesses your game,
can I use search tracker then from Blitz?
No, because it accesses your game files.
Well,
no,
there's
that's memory from the game.
There, like I'll say this, like I don't have a problem with this. Like, there is a program, and it's I don't know if it's really it's not publicly released yet, but the devs have worked directly with Epic, and it's like a competitive program that literally has like everything, and it's approved. And I know this. I know of this program because like I tested it basically, and that program, like the entire reason Josh got the idea to launch his program is because I showed him the other program that was approved by Epic.
Oh.
So I am so like that's why I'm like very confused now.
Yeah, Pete's down
Why
as
did
well.
Amar comment? I swear W tweet.
Pete down as well, bro. Poyo solo, Ages solo, bro. Everyone's struggling. This is actually insane. Dude, our leaderboard's gonna be so close. What?
Forcing himself to build right now.
Like it says the thing, like
we'll go back to the tweet after this. We'll go to the tweet after this.
Yeah.
Ooh, Acorn Bolt in the high ground.
In the runway,
Oh, we're moving. What the fuck?
catch up comes to a close there, and things remain
Hey, look at high
competitive
rotation
now
in the lobby.
on the standings. Meanwhile, Bolts and
There's really
Acorn
no one
get
on high
off
now.
the low ground into the
There's
high
no
ground.
one
When
on
Chris is in the
here.
lobby, there's no one on high. There's
Someone
really not a
take it, guys.
single person. Bolts.
Come on,
Go up with your
let's
8 builds.
actually
Go your 8 builds. Go up. You got more pizza than builds. Go for it.
Place 126
I think Cooper
points. No clicks and eggs in this lobby for the past couple games.
But now Bolts takes it now.
Oh, if Cooper may get this refresh, they do.
Anybody else, if they're daring enough to take it, Reed and Cooper almost picking up an elimination. You can see the desperation in their materials.
Oh no.
Almost fresh out, and you see Reed going down, just kind of.
Acorn on high ground with his 8 builds. Let's go.
Make sure no one can see him.
Yo, Cold and Rapid should 100% take this. They don't realize, but they should take this.
Oh my!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
They
Oh
were
no!
tied up when this game started. Now they're almost at 250 plus points.
Big pressure coming in from Acorn up above. That's almost the decision maker to send Cold back to the lobby. But the pressure's coming in. They see the
so
miss as
Cold and
well.
Rapid about to be hit by a lot now?
Yeah, they're looking good.
And Bolt and Acorn are recognizing this is their immediate competition right here. This is the threat in the lobby. Who's daring to hold the second height? That's the team they want to send back.
Damn, Acorn Bolts actually took it. Oh
Now we
shit!
get to see Braids and Visuals on the bottom right.
Damn.
So far, so good for them. They are slowly creeping their way back up the standings here. From that game 1 victory royale to a strong game 4 right here. They're positioned very well.
They would never
They're
do
just a
that,
couple
could I?
eves away
Pros would
from being
never
inside
get
the
all
top
together
3
to
now.
like protest on another team's behalf.
Look at this.
For the pros in this lobby, it's better for them to play. There's worse teams in. Yeah.
Another clutch situation. Good damage, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, chat. These freaking triple cameras POVs are insane.
Before the Siphon, Wager, Slepsy getting approached. They're forced to scramble outside of the box. They go 2 different directions. So they don't necessarily have the strength and numbers anymore.
Resident V might be able to win this.
Wagers goes down into the wrong
Bro, they're
box.
getting like a big lead here.
Perfect elimination for Cold.
Damn, Cold Rapid running away with it, man.
The HP, and now he picks up the Siphon.
I'm gonna never disrespect Cold, my god.
I mean, bro, yeah, we were disrespected. We put him in 6, to be fair. We weren't that disrespectful, but yes, he's looking crazy. Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, he's been okay, what would you do before you saw the game?
Deep into the top 10 now. Rapid is
I had the third.
Clutches get the full elimination there too.
Damn,
I had the third.
Look at you guys.
Over
just 30 mats now.
I had them over both Acorn.
So don't count them just
I had Aegis Ritual
I'm
below.
still seeing Visuals alive. I'm seeing a lot of
Visuals is weak, man. Come on, Visuals.
Looking too hot for the low ground teams.
I just didn't see.
Acorn Bolt's doing good though. Acorn Bolt's with the dub skills. Come on, Cooler. Can Acorn keep his streak going, man? If you guys don't know, chat, Acorn has won chapter 4, 5, 6. Chapter season 1. If he wins this season 1, it'll be his 4th time in a row winning season 1 of a new chapter FNCS. Bro, this leaderboard's about to be so close. Holy shit.
Medkit just in case, and they're ready to chop it down. No instant retakes for you as Cole's just trying to make a mad dash. His only chance to make it in towards the zone. He gets coned off again.
Thanks, dude.
Good fucking shit. Maybe just go leaderboard yourself.
Damn. Finally woken up here in the second half of the day to take the VR.
Oh, sorry, major one chat. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't even
FNCS
they were
season.
in the race at 128 coming into this game.
Damn, okay, Acorn Bolts.
In game number 4.
Why is Hyde so free? No clicks Higgs, and they just took it for free with no builds and just one off it.
You see it every time you think
let's go
like, oh, it's all good.
Yeah, just go leaderboard yourself, quick. I see the leaderboard and then.
I'm not just going Twitter there.
Visuals second.
Cold Rapid in first. Visuals in second.
Wow.
Cold Rapid, Visuals, Clicks, Acorn, then Aegis, then Pete. Damn.
Okay.
Who's done 7th, Harvey, Reed. Kevin Benno.
Wait, go 13th. 13th.
Guys, this
136 right now.
Everything is going crazy.
Damn.
It is
No,
going
I'm saying
quite
like they went
crazy
from
right
like
now,
top
but I
2
do love
to top
see
13 in
Acorn
2
and
games.
Bolts, as we heard Jacob say, finally wake up right now, and it did seem
Dad, of
like
course,
in
P
that
wants them to
game,
restart
a lot of our
Grands.
top teams were
That doesn't mean
struggling a
they
little
think-
Bro,
bit,
that's what I'm saying. The
potentially
Twitter is
going
looking funny
down,
right now.
so
You go in the
that top
comments,
five, as
it's
you're
like
saying,
it's
Zeke,
Marius
quite
restart Grands,
possible
Pixie
that
restart Grands.
Yeah, all the teams doing shit, of course.
Wissy,
We did see,
like, it's just
unfortunately, a
all
couple of
the
our top
dots.
teams, those that are typically found on the high ground over here
Like,
on
it's
this
all the
region, did go
fucking
down
shit,
early.
guys.
So
Getting together.
good recognition there for Acorn and Bolts to realize, hey, listen, high ground might be our opportunity to kind of go up there. And as soon as they secured high ground,
Ain't too good,
they
pushing it prime, man.
lost it for a glimpse. So great work.
No, this
from
is
Acorn and
fucking
Bolts to
crazy,
kind of
though.
Go ahead, take the higher ground. And I got to tell you, this game, like Cass was
Damn.
kind of calling out, all of the
Thinking
solos,
GD.
everybody was just kind of
So he
tearing
loves the
themselves
chaos. I
apart
mean, hey, it's the
on low
FNCS to
ground.
miss, I guess.
I don't know what happened to this lobby, but it's like everybody ran out of mats super fast. There was even like a
Dude,
minute
yeah,
left
wow.
to this game before the storm fully closed in, and the final elimination comes in. Like, this was a early win here for Acorn and Bolts, ending themselves there with 211 points after that game. That one is going to
I'm just like
them
pinned
in
to
the
Twitter.
race.
Like,
Yeah,
this is
Yeah, I'm
unbelievable.
just,
I'm stunned. I'm
Yeah,
actually
Hanks.
I got a
stunned.
sneak peek. I got a sneak peek at standings. I got a sneak peek.
I just don't
Right,
actually
right now.
understand how someone thought this is a a good idea.
Wait, but isn't the
We'll have to
decision
wait till
fully
after
fine if they just didn't add
Right,
that thing?
right,
Because the
we'll take a look.
disqualification
completely
it should
fine.
stand. That everything is good until they.
literally.
But that's the thing. Maybe they're admitting. Maybe then the only way they include that if they're admitting that Josh didn't have any access to the real-time state.
No, but Josh already said he did.
Yeah, he
did.
did. No, he did.
He
He
already
did.
said they used it in
He did.
heats.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's the thing. We
Okay,
have confirmation because we've been like fucking trying to figure out the riddle. We have
Yeah.
confirmation from everyone what they used it in, and that like the bans should stand like they are right now, or the DQs. Like we have everything like perfect.
I just don't get how they
It's
can
only
say
the
that
tweet
it's
that's
against.
fucking it up.
Yeah, I just don't get it because they can say that it's against TOS, and that people definitely did it, but the DQs were wrong.
Exactly.
How? Which one is it?
That's
Is
what-
it- is it
that's what I'm
because we
saying.
didn't
How
know,
does that make
like-
sense?
So as long as if you use a new cheat for the first time, then you're fine. Like I don't understand. Like what are they trying to do with this? They're just saying because it wasn't clear they shouldn't have DQ'd them. I mean, but that sets a really bad precedent. That means anytime you cheat in a gray area
So
of
every
the
time
game,
there's a gray area, we can just do
Yeah,
it anyways, because
just
like
cheat.
we will just get nothing. There'll just be like a little
Yeah.
warning. Don't do this.
Damn. I mean, chat, if they restarted Grands next weekend, I would not be sad. I'm not going to lie. But I don't think they're going to. And, like, I don't know, man. I just, yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy. Look at the Pirates tweet chat. It's just a bunch of pros doing badly in Grands. Ask them to restart Grands. Like, I know.
No, I actually think this is the worst like decision in esports in the last like 6 years. I've never in my life seen something like this.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Like, it's literally like, oh, we fucked up. Y'all be safe though. Like, that's literally what they say.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Like, what?
Dude, wow. And the part is that this is also for LAN. So they're admitting they fucked over your FNCS Grands and LAN. Like, this is actually crazy.
LAN LC.
Dude, and then
yeah, they take away.
Oh my god, dude.
My god.
And watch this be the FNCS CLIX wins. So it's like people try and take away from him. Like, just watch. Yeah, chat. Hey, chat, chill. Iomzo and Booga were really worried about their disqualifications from eval cups and skin cups being on their record, okay? Like, fucking chill. They've removed it. Bro, I can't believe they said bad news. Like, the bad news. Like, oh, like, 50. How?
Bro, I love it. At this word, we realize there's a legit confusing. Bad news.
No.
Tournament.
I literally, like, before I got this call, I was at peace. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, it
Shout
is
out
what it
Epic.
is.
They're taking a stand. You know, at least they're being consistent, right? They're being consistent. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, this is... I don't even understand. Like, at least they were kind of taking a stance, which is going to hopefully help with, like, you know, cheating and stuff in the future. Like, this literally could not be worse. Like I said, this is them again somehow doing something that's worse than nothing.
111 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should just stick to being quiet and not communicate.
Yeah,
Never,
no
maybe
statements
strongest.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop asking them for statements going forward because this is actually insane.
Yeah. I feel like we just
worse.
like they should just ban the whole lobby and stay quiet, and we would just be like, yeah, good. Just don't communicate at all, because you might fuck the game even more over.
In that game as well.
This is insane. It's like the surge trading. They literally like they banned that team and then unbanned them, which is literally worse than if they just did nothing. If they just never banned them in the first place, it would have been better.
Oh my gosh, guys. This is
the thing that confuses me though is why is it so hard for us to get communication? Why does it take so long if it can then still be this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I assume we don't get communication because they have to be so careful.
Like tens of
that's what I'm saying.
So
how
many,
the fuck
and
does this go through so many levels of approval? Like,
yeah,
hello?
I like that. So maybe send it over to that guy. Wait, yeah, it's good. Sweet, get it out. I can't. This went through like 5 people probably, and it's just like
they're playing this so smart and so safely, kind of
the tier 1. This is actually like impressively bad.
Instead of staying to the front, which is where all the
yes,
chaos
using
is.
drop calcs allowed, chat, like the website. That's fine.
Cold and rapid now with a 51-point lead over second.
Chat, because people are still confused. So like any website you use, chat, like any tool you're currently using where like it's a different website, it doesn't actually have like a tool that's reading your game state live. Because like, you know, when you jump into a game, you have to tell drop calc where the bus is starting and finishing. That's fine. But the drop calc tool that other people were using literally took what it was seeing in your game and then instantly told you where to drop as an overlay based on the bus path. That's not allowed.
Maybe hasn't played in the last few months, but it doesn't matter because he's playing now.
Yeah, I think the big storyline here.
But why would they? I just don't get putting. I don't get it because the bans are valid. Everything is valid. Everything is valid besides the
CLIX and eggs kind of going down early.
I don't know if this means Blitz GG is
either.
I don't know if Blitz is now allowed, chat. When I reached out to him for my sponsor, they said it was fine. But now, based on that wording, I think it's not fine.
No, like this is people don't people don't understand how like Epic works. Like, there's people on the comp team that don't even know Blitz exists, but there's definitely someone at Blitz that like has communicated with a dev at Epic, for example. Like, it's they don't even know themselves.
Territory because yes, with a single game.
Yeah, this I don't even know,
we
man.
can close that gap, no problem. But they are now firing on all cylinders, right? Cold and Rapid.
No, exit lag is
you
fine,
said,
chat.
has
Exit
now
lag is
placed
fine.
Outside of 8th place.
But it says though
They
we'll be
literally
about like in the second part of the suite
nailed
that it's
consistency
like it's
right here,
chilling
right
if
now
it's
in
through
just
memory,
game number
screen
1.
recording,
Kelly, if we
screenshots,
continue this
audio.
trend,
No,
they
not
will
chilling.
probably
Not
get
chilling
like
if it
we
does
get
that.
Not
two more
chilling.
games
Oh.
like
Yeah,
this,
not chilling.
That's not going to be a 50
I thought
point
memory
lead.
was
That
fine
could
because
be
that what
over
you see on
100
the screen
points.
is fine.
That's
but
true.
I guess not.
And just the storylines that are coming
That's
out.
what
You know,
Blitz
Acorn
argued for
and
yesterday,
Bolts
though.
after
That's
winning
what they
that
said in the
game,
screen. You
also
remember the
climbing
screenshot
up
we
the
saw yesterday?
leaderboard right
Yeah.
now. Wouldn't it
They
be
said it
just
was
so
fine
fitting
because
to
it's
have
through
Cold
memory and your
fighting for
screen.
first place
Yeah.
as your number 1? And
That's
now
literally the
we're
words he
moving on to
used, the
CLIX.
Blitz,
I would
like the
just
Blitz
love for
guy.
that story to develop.
Dude.
Also, Rapid and
Well.
Bolts are also two teammates that have a lot of
So Blitz is
similarities
not
as
allowed
well.
either.
Former teammates that have a lot of similarities as well. Joined by Cold and Acorn. So maybe we're focusing on the wrong story right now, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a possibility. Speaking about like PETERBOT and Pollo, they'd go down early that game as well, which is, you know, another one of those teams that we do expect to see on the high ground, which again, you know, Acorn and Bolts kind of found it a little bit of a breeze to kind
What
of set
story
up
should we
there
focus
the
on?
high
Oh
ground
my
that game. But
God,
even though they
CLIX's
went down
first
early,
FNCS
PETERBOT
win.
and Pollo,
Maybe
they're still in 6th
can
place
Pete
right now.
bring it
So,
back?
like Zeke mentioned, one game kind of closed the gap immensely, but right now, about 100 point
I don't know why.
first place and 6th. So that's the difference between Cold and Rapid and PETERBOT and Pollo. A lot of ground to make up if they want to, you know, return.
I'm just shell-shocked.
But isn't restarting? Yeah, but isn't restarting also like?
Yeah, man.
Like restart the whole
Let them
tournament?
restart, right? And let them all play. Then we're also allowing people
have-
that
you
cheated
have-
in the event to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they literally, they had 6 different solutions, and they just like
Went with the worst
Yeah,
one.
but I don't know
Yeah.
why I wouldn't spam
Yeah.
restart because
This is not even a
what do you wanna do?
solution.
They said you want to allow the players that cheated to play.
Only 2 things can be true. It's either they didn't cheat, right? And you have to restart the tournament, and because it's not just one team, it's what,
Yeah.
4 or 5?
It's 5, yeah, 5 sources, like
5 teams.
6 or
Like-
yeah, 8 maybe on the US one.
It's either you restart the tournament and let those teams play, or they cheated and they can't play. It's not.
You can't somehow have it in the middle in both ways.
No,
Like,
but the
how
thing
you
they
mixing
say it's
it?
not allowed though. Again,
So if you look at, teams, regardless of how they perform,
Yeah, I'm very
beforehand,
confused.
I don't get it. Why is everyone spamming restart? I don't get it.
because their favorite pros doing that.
How do they recover?
No, but not even
We
that
know
though. Like what?
emotions can run high, and a
Bro, I
lot
don't get
of
it
our
at all.
top
Because
teams
they
are
just
very
confirmed that it
emotional
isn't
players.
allowed,
And I
and
think
then
when
said
it
it's a
comes down
mistake.
to
It actually
emotion,
makes
we
it
feel
like my
agers
brain
are able to
can't
stay
like
cool,
in
calm,
any
and
way
collected.
figure
So
out
I
what
think
was trying
although
to be
they
said
might
here.
not have had kind of the game 2 that we saw them have, that they are definitely not out. And in fact, even with a 21st
Chad,
and
in
a
my
17th
completely
place
unbiased
third
opinion,
fifth,
with 50,000 viewers right now, I think we should rerun this whole tournament from scratch. So I get another 9 hours of the stream.
Oh
I'm
wait
just
till we
saying,
play like 5
in my
more games, just like
yeah.
form the news.
Let's get like halfway through tomorrow, and then I think we should restart this. Completely
Like,
unbiasedly,
play
I
it
think we
tomorrow,
should do
then
that.
it was just customs. It was prep. Run again next week.
In my unbiased opinion, I agree. Restart grants.
2 games left to go. These duos.
Dude, what is
pressure's on.
happening?
They need to make sure they're doing everything they
I
can to
don't
move
even-
up that leaderboard.
Yeah, this is
to
actually funny.
secure these points. Casters, let's get ready for game 5.
And that was not time sensitive either. That could have gone out on Monday.
I know.
I could have literally, y'all, if y'all even wanted to post that, y'all could have waited till Monday.
They land mid-map. They get a chance at a mid.
What do I actually think? I mean, I've said my opinion from the start, chat. Like, I am sad that some of my favorite pros and friends in the scene got screwed by this, but I also am happy that Epic's taking a hard stance on like trying to stop people from going into gray areas of cheating. But then now they've done the worst fucking thing they could possibly have done. Like, they could not have handled this worse. My opinion of the situation hasn't changed. Like, it sucks, but also, like, it kind of needed to happen. But now they've just fully fucked it. Because now they've made it, like, okay to do it again next time. Like, I don't know.
And Bolts, big victory royale in that last game, bursting them into the top 5. And this is where
Hey, man, game 5.
Game 5, let's go.
Where you
We
end
actually
on
have such
day
a good,
1
close leaderboard,
really
too.
plays a part in how you get to play out day 2.
Yeah, no one's played perfect so far, other than Cold and Rapid's incredible level of consistency
Nice.
so far. You know, and you would think by now, because of how slow they play that early game, they might
Thank you,
have
Driz, for the
surge
prime.
issues.
Thank you, man.
So with these next 2 rounds, let's see if that strategy continues to hold up. Meanwhile, Naves and Tex make quick work of paper. It looks like off the drop, just besting them
I
there.
saw
My
Rez,
head
I
is
saw.
actually fucking not functioning at all.
You think they would delete the
Obviously, you're in
tweet?
the finals today. Finally
Honestly,
making-
maybe. Like,
I
genuinely,
feel like
maybe.
we said we
There
got
goes
too
their
many
first
screenshots and
elimination.
things of the tweet
Nicely
already.
done,
So
putting
like deleting
themselves
it
on
is
board
maybe
here.
safe.
Jack and N-Pen now just have to finish up Avenger here on the outskirts. Gotta run for it.
Sorry, chat.
They're gonna have to find him first.
I'm gonna go stress eat
Shockwaves
Someone,
in their
maybe
direction,
no, but
trying to
maybe
get
like
out,
one
was
of the
hoping to
people
hit
that
the
saw their
rip
account,
here,
like the
and
kid
does.
stole the phone and then made a
Just
tweet.
endless
Like maybe it was
dive
someone
right
like
now, and
Like
almost
maybe
looks
someone
Fortnite
like
just
employee's
like
kid.
persistence there is gonna make sure
Yeah.
they
It's
clean
not
up
crazy
that
to say that. It's
destination.
actually
That's
not
the
crazy
second
to
one
this
say
is
on
not like
the
a
board.
real employee like work in the
It's gonna be
streets.
raining
This
loot
can't be
for a
like
little
I don't
bit, so we
believe
got
it.
plenty of time to go pick
I
that
feel
one
like some kid just stole it. Like, oh, this is the Fortnite account. Let me tweet some dumb
But
shit.
they're
Let
contradicting
me tweet some
themselves.
dumb shit.
Yeah, that's what I don't
This
get
was,
either. That's the
of
only thing. Like
course,
that's the worst
the
part.
team
They're
that
saying it
kind of
wasn't allowed. They
threw
broke
Venno and
COS,
Curve
and
for a
then
loop
but we actually
after
didn't
getting
mean to ban
Venno
them.
early.
Like what?
Thinking midlife in the prime, think he did.
Play their
Think
game
he's
out,
sweaty.
but not exactly at the pace that they probably would have liked. Either way, can Venno and
No, it's not even AI check the tweet chat because it's not like the way they're saying it. It's the content of what they've said is the problem. It's not how they said it. It's what they said.
Bro, they created a fucking like a climax in the middle of their tweet.
Yeah, literally.
Irrelevant.
There was a
Like the
fucking
first two, oh, okay. No, let me throw this in. I'm gonna slip this one in.
Dude, it was a fucking
Like,
M Night Shyamalan like twist in the fucking tweet.
First players. For others,
Dude,
it's like
gonna
simple top
Don't open the
13.
Fortnite
Right now,
Twitch chat.
Yeah, I'm good.
there's
I'm
still
good.
plenty of games left to go, of course. It's Vive and King
It's
at
never moved this fast.
136 points, so they're not far off.
No,
Why would they not ban it? Like, why would they not just like?
They
Why would
just
they
like
not just
emote
block
only
this?
or nah.
Yo, hey, yo, foliage though. Fucking thanks for the 1v raid, bro. Good shit, man. Fucking love you, foliage.
Slowing things down, and for
That's
power,
fucking
There's not $1 message.
No, they said Fortnite was dying, right? They gonna like this one.
Yeah, this will get him talking. This will get him moving.
God.
Most definitely.
Oh my god.
So off he
Someone's
goes,
getting
trying to
fired.
lurk about
Bro, this
here.
feels like when Fortnite
As if
Poland
the
accidentally posted the
void
fucking
obviously
trailer early and they just got
exits.
yeeted. Just got banished into like fucking the Shadow
Coming
Realm.
about just yet. Meanwhile, Venno Curve back to the lurk. It's
Yeah, I don't know how the Epic TOS works, Chad, but yes, this could actually leave grounds for
was right
like a
there in
lawsuit,
front of him.
yes.
Still has Electro here to the side though. Electro doesn't even.
Yeah, but could it though?
Well, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure their TOS probably saves them, but like if enough of the pros got together,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's the thing. The TOS saved them, and they broke the TOS. Like those players broke the TOS.
Did you see him? Oh,
So like you can't really like.
But they
But
admitted,
if they're
that it was wrong.
conceding,
They
yeah.
conceded that they should be allowed to play. So they've you know, like
It has to be some kid that sold the phone, I
Iomzo
swear.
could
It has to be a kid.
like, bro, you could argue that Iomzo would have won this FNCS and then won land. So what's that, like $400,000 Iomzo and Josh could have just lost out on? You know what I mean? Like they probably
Yeah,
weren't,
just
but they
gonna
could
say, Are you
have.
fucking stupid?
I'm just saying, like, they could have.
They restarted a heat. Didn't they? Yeah, they restarted heats after 2 games, and we're 3 in.
yeah.
Like,
I'm not a lawyer though, but like, I don't know how that works. Just like they broke the TOS, you know, but they just said no, but they're just stupid. I don't know. I don't know. This is next level.
Yeah, because they did. They restarted the heats after 2 games, didn't they? What about that?
They did. But this is the thing. They could have waited till Monday.
Love to see it back with Higgs and CLIX, man. This is tough, right? Because now they have to make up.
They could have done
for
anything
the
else
lead that they
for what they've
lost,
just
and they
done.
Pretty much handed up on a platter to Cold and Rapid there.
Chad, this is one of those times where, like, this is why we watch. Fred's watching because he fucked up this season, but this is why we watch, Chad. I feel bad
Guys, this
because
is
they're
still
my
keep buffing
friends,
them
but
great,
like,
though.
this is why we watch, man.
See how they handle the pressure if the zone pulls away in the last 2 games. Maybe they can actually utilize the wheel to try to rotate in. At least they don't have a first place target on their back like Cold and Rapid might. Center of the map is Reet and Cooper. You can see them straying away from Latte Landing, doing what some of the other teams are doing. One person is kind of on a hill, trying to distract shots from the distance, while Cooper is just trying to walk up, hide the audio visual, and get a sneaky shot.
It's actually
Yes,
not.
gonna be the
Funny
third
enough,
first
it's
on to
Philip.
QK. No knock just yet, but that in its own mind is a little bit of a success.
Someone's asking if
for
Fred's actually a real
Oh,
name.
for sure.
That fucked me up when I found out it wasn't.
Okay, leaving a sidewall open there, allowing them to just get free tags there. He didn't even realize where the shots were coming from for a second there. Saw the hesitation on the builds. QK
Hey,
contract
comment that you smoke.
have also earned a fair amount of points, right? These are all teams that can still jump their way into top 13. Back on over to Cold right now.
Chad, I'm gonna fuck your whole day up.
Clearly is
Fred
in
Oxy's
top
real name
form
is not
here.
Fred, and Oliver G's name
They're
is not
just
Oliver.
Ahead of the
You're
pack
welcome.
by over 50 points right now. Really respectable tournament run so far. Jack and Npen though, not looking too hot. We're started off super strong for them, earning some points now. Npen though, lost in the exchange outside of the
There you go.
landing.
The tweet is now no longer the worst thing you've heard today. You're welcome.
Jack is forced to retreat, and he's going straight into Reed's team, so he does have to be careful.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't have the timing there. for Reet and Cooper, who've almost done something different.
Where does Oliver
every
come from? It's
single
his
game so
dog's name.
far,
His real name
in
is
terms of
Christian.
how they've been
His
rotating
dog was
into
Oliver.
some of these zones, so it's easy to catch a
Thank you,
couple
McClure.
teams
Thank you,
off
Laughing.
guard.
Appreciate subs, dude. What's up,
Some more
Raw?
visuals and braids. Talk about sticking to
My name is Ozzy, though. Don't worry, I would never lie to you like that. My name is Ozzy.
Place. This split drop outside of Dark Dominion. Just like I said in one of the previous games, no matter where the zone
Wait,
goes,
was
they're more than
Oliver?
likely going to be set
Yeah, I think.
on top of a hill.
Has Oliver
So it
passed
gives
away,
them the
50?
luxury to kind of
Like,
sit here.
his
Yes,
dog?
they might have to
What?
take some
Do you know if
sort
Oliver's
of
dog passed away? No, not him.
Yes.
Rotating in
I-
from
that's-
Oh,
east,
yeah,
rotating
his
from
dog,
south,
his
will have
dog.
to
Rest in
pass
peace.
by
Yeah.
visuals and range.
Rest in
Rest in peace,
It's a
Oliver.
decent opportunity to start
His legacy lives
Goes
on.
on though.
Fortnite tweet.
Oh my God.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
goodness.
There's no way they're
Should we get
doubling down. Here we go,
Oh
boys. Here
my
we go.
God.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We aren't going to reset FNCS Major 1. It's too far along with the current participants. Reload Elite Series starts next Friday.
No. Why did they put the Reload Elite Series in this video? It's like, y'all got Reload Friday.
Someone's taking the piss. Yo, someone is actually taking the piss. Hello? How did we get here? Bro, how did we
They
get here?
have to be hacked.
Some of the best aim in the game. Kind of see why I connect with 2 tags there, 40 damage. It all adds up over time. Some extra heals not too far away, and then the mending machine down below. And with the zone pulling in their favor, Monster for PETERBOT and Poyo, they have options to rotate. They can shockwave, they can walk it in, or simply hit that rift that's not too far off next to them. They're going to have kind of pick of the litter, essentially, about where they actually want to end up after this next zone.
Light here. Catching a free Elim onto Muss out the sky there. Liquid in the distance too. Meanwhile, Minish, Javi here. Based out, camped out right now. 152 points so far, on pace to send themselves to another LAN event here. For Javi, it'd be his first. Exciting times. But look at this, Jacob. Threats and Veer just trying to finish what they started over here.
Rightfully so. You know, you get that one elimination. Yeah, you can rotate the zone, let him reboot. Maybe you can go ahead and try to attack that later. They just don't want to get beamed for free trying to rotate on out. They create some distance. Now they start using the shockwave, so Threats and Veer continue on with the rest of their game, which gives hope for Liquid to try to get his teammate back in. Hopefully they have some gold. There is a free mending machine or some scraps all around they can try to access. Only time will tell, though, how well they're able to make this game count with only 2 left.
What?
Curvin.
Look at their Elims.
What?
What's going on?
Okay, so we got Electro Oak. Maybe Tyler Chance. They got a little. What? I'm not gonna say what went wrong, but like what went right for Venno and Curve since the last time we saw them. And honestly, depending on how much damage they take, they might not have to worry about Surge for the rest of this game.
Yeah, that's crazy. 6 eliminations. Obviously, I'm more impressed by the amount of points they've managed to earn after coming up short last game. So they're on their way back up to the top. Meanwhile, QK Contrap, just a sleeper duo so far as you know, how well they've been able to play for what it's worth, right? This is their first time in this level of competition, going against this level of competition, and they seem to be holding their weight just fine.
I like them not overstaying their welcome, knowing they're going to have to rotate on out. I wouldn't say the farthest pull by any means, but it is going to start getting more and more drastic as more and more teams crowd that edge of the zone. You already see a few in their path, so I don't think they're going to be leaving the zone itself anytime soon, maybe rotating towards the north. You see another team in the mini-map towards the outskirts trying to do just that. Maybe trying to utilize the Latte landing launch pad, but that one's still locked down by Reet and Cooper on this side of the map. Even with them having rotated in just yet, it's almost no worry when they finally make that play.
Cooper, Reet have the nice high ground here as well, but the zone is already pushing them out. I was going to say, really not many opportunities to find teams either. You can see the remnants of other bases and whatnot. They were probably hoping to see a little bit more activity rotating through here, but might just be a wrong decision for them. Meanwhile, Carillion and Jargo set up the ambush here. Find Aloe rotating behind what looked to be an abandoned base, but no, sir.
had this duo still sitting in it.
I think like Darko hasn't healed yet. It almost seemed like they had some extras there to try to get the HP back on up. But timing, sometimes of the essence. Beating other teams to a rotation is going to be important to jump back on board Khan and QK. 243 below the damage threshold. You're going to see why they're getting aggressive in this moment outside of zone. It's Listen on the other side. Even if they get the full damage from Listen, there's a chance they're still below the damage threshold here. So depending on how long this fight continues to go, how much Listen actually heals, they're still going to be in a tough spot. But at least they're trying to take it while they can. Continue to close off any exits, take control of the pieces, spotted out Listen again, and instantly going right to the top of those builds. First and second shot is going to connect for Khan, but as I said, still below the damage threshold.
Yeah, nice clean elimination there, but they definitely need more damage here. Carillion in the distance there, kind of listening to the fight go down. Meanwhile, Muzz and Sphinx have built their own additional layer straight across the fortress's edge. This is the first time we've seen an endgame position up here, and look at this. It's going to pull right on top of them for the 50-50. It's a perfect spot to be in. 244 above, not too bad. I think they'll be probably just fine, so long as they don't do anything too rash here. This is actually a really good spot for Sphinx and Muzz to be in.
Especially rotating in early on towards their west. There is going to be the rift. It's out of zone for now, but depending on where the zone continues to pull, you can see a rift in the end game, creating some unique strategies. We go on over to CLIX and Higgs. You see them chopping their tower out just so they can do the long one. You see them attaching on over. They're going to glide their way in. PETERBOT and Boyo waiting for the moment to try to get some tags out of the sky. And then they can easily just mimic that same rotation. Choice is definitely theirs because they can go ahead and do it on foot as well. But for now, it just seems like they want to make the fast and easy glide into the zone.
Yeah, definitely, but lucky for CLIX and Higgs, the way they set it up, it sends them so far up, they do end up getting out of that render distance there. PETERBOT, Boyo now are going to send themselves straight into the new zone. We'll see where they end up landing. The fact that they're on this same kind of warpath here means they might just end up colliding here shortly. Keep close tabs on them. Jumping in with Encrypted and HQ again. Another team we haven't quite got to see much of their journey. However, they have been very much competitive here on the standings. 138 points here is nothing to be upset about this late into the tournament here. Game 5 right now is in front of us. 98 below though, Jacob. They're hoping to find teams rotating out from outside the zone, but there's no one in sight. They are quite literally the last ones on the edge here.
And this is where the mind games start to play, because you saw the leaderboard when it pops up. They are the line in terms of top 13 going to the Major 1 Summit. They are the team currently to beat. So going down here, especially with one game left and a whole day tomorrow, will leave you with a bunch of regrets in the back of your mind. See multiple teams rotating in. Yep, PETERBOT Boyo below the damage threshold monster.
Yeah, I saw that lightning come down as soon as we were panning over. 42 below now. Couple tags get put in there, but PETERBOT and Boyo have a lot to deal with right now. Pressure's on, not only for them not being as comfortable as they normally are this late into a tournament run, but also now having to deal with the surge. Already though, you saw there, CLIX, Higgs to the south, other teams in between them. Great tags here putting onto the solo player in front of him. Power has to deal with that too. He doesn't get a shot off though, so it's gonna be pure positive for them, but tags coming in from top. Someone might have jumped into the box. I thought for a second there, even PETERBOT shot his own teammate, not sure of what was going on. And the surge is just a lot to deal with now. Here comes another lobby focus. But luckily, they get just enough here onto Raven and CDZ to keep them above the surge. It's not for long, though.
Yeah, it's like a miracle right now, one after the next. You don't necessarily hear that someone's taking these ticks of Storm Surge Monster, but you hear the shields getting cracked when it does that much damage. I think teams all around them getting a huge signal here of what's going down. They're just trying to take part, make their jobs that much harder here in terms of survival, but they're constantly on the lookout. PETERBOT and Boyo connect with a few shots, yes, barely above 29. They're going to increase that just a little bit, 69 above the damage threshold. It's not a feeling of safety here, but for them, exactly that. We're going into the next zone. It's a moment of fresh air, but instantly the wind gets sucked out of their lungs here as they fall 60 below yet again.
Well, for a team like this, that's all you need, right? Just a little moment here, and they do have some heals to work with, but the clock is ticking. 30 seconds remaining. Duo's right up above them. Into the box, Boyo goes. He hits one monster's tag, gets the knock, and PETERBOT's here to back him up. The zone does the rest, and just like that, 2 more elims, and they are safe for now. Big heals to be found as well. Now, the Chug only has 40 in it, but that is plenty considering where they just left off from. Meanwhile, we pan over to the other side. Visual Braid still in the running. CLIX and Higgs there in the distance too. Much different story for our second and third place leaders here. 99 above for them, so things are just on pace, but the pressure is starting to slow creep here. But look at this, CLIX and Higgs might be going for another high ground positioning.
Yeah, this is actually a smart rotation by them. We saw Bucky down, rolling around at the bottom. Zen was trying to save, but Visuals and Braids were pushing up. Instead of focusing any pressure in that direction, they immediately rotate to zone. Jump on board Rapid, less than 25 HP. Luckily, he has Cold by his side, holding on to those builds, making sure they don't get pushed for free. It's actually separated right now. They're in 2 different boxes. That would have been a perfect time to strike onto Rapid, but Cold is looking through the cone, gathering information, waiting for Rapid to make the rotation on over into the same box. Meanwhile, he finds another big elim onto Magma. This is how you create moments instead of waiting for them.
That timing couldn't have been better, and Cole's got the right idea. He's thinking this guy has to get knocked somewhere close by, but unfortunately, is going to be out of reach, and they could have used that little bit of loot right there, but the fact that Cold and Rapid have managed to kind of found a stable ground here, that's going to be a problem for the standings. Meanwhile, Visual and Braids is like the sleeper duo we're not talking enough about right now. They have just remained so competitive, and while all eyes are on Cold, Rapid, CLIX, Higgs, PETERBOT, Boya, you have Visuals and Braids slowly working their way up the standings as well.
Yeah, they didn't even really look up at high ground. They know how many teams like to go up there. They said, you guys can have it. We're going to wait and find these perfect eliminations down below as another one spotted out onto Wagers. No Slepsy in this game, which means that team is fully eliminated out of the game. Braids and Visuals are continuously heating up here in this game. PETERBOT as well. I did see Preston go down. Luckily, we get a huge view of how PETERBOT and Boy were able to pick up another elimination.
I like he captures Preston, opens it, and Preston tries to jump out the box immediately. Just never know. Meanwhile, Higgs and CLIX tanking Storm to get some ultimate positioning here, but CLIX gets collapsed on by Dozier and Eshu, and just like that, he is slightly out of position, but so is Acorn too. Higgs tries to break the builds there. It's Bolts who goes up for a cheeky little high ground play there, and it's all up to Higgs now to try to play this out for positioning here. This is going to be close, but hey, he's got this mountain, which is all natural elevated here to work with. Dozier, Ishu know that they've taken one out from the top. Up they go. PETERBOT and Boyo bounce their way back into the game now. 5 eliminations for this team, and finally now big placement points are being earned here.
Yeah, if you didn't watch the last couple of minutes, you would almost not even know PETERBOT and Boyle were such in a drastic situation, forced to literally fight their way out. Cold and Rapid as well. They finally reunite into the same box, but they're getting pressured on the other side. Rapid's trying to hold on for dear life. Cold is there. They're just trading shots back and forth, but Rapid is taking most of that brute force. Luckily for him, Cold is there, just trying to push that team further and further out towards the zone. There's really no time for Rapid to heal. He has to make this rotation with barely a sliver of HP before him and Cold once again reunite on the front side of the zone.
Cold is just playing so well. He is taking like no damage while all this is happening. Meanwhile, PETERBOT and Boya, if you blink, you missed it. They went up for high ground. They contest the team. They take down Dozier and Eshu. Eshu's already knocked here. PETERBOT now shockwaves down to connect with his teammate, and they are on high ground looking to make up for lost time. 7 eliminations and going. Meanwhile, Cold continuing to find elims as well. It's all a runaway train though if you are Rapid and Cold here.
Oh, but Ritual Agers, they made a play for a high ground, and they get the knock onto PETERBOT. Nobody is now solidified as that team up above. Cold is even trying to retake it. Rapid shockwave up.
God.
One team's loss is another team's gain, but they get chopped yet again. Agers and Ritual, the persistence is there. They're ready to fight for it all. That fight for that first place spot on the leaderboard doesn't matter who's in their path. They're ready to bulldoze their way out of the lobby.
It's only a matter of time before someone else gets a victory royale, but then you have Visual and Braids here at 8 eliminations. Again, the team that no one is talking about is running things on the mid ground. Make it 9, make it possibly even 10 here in the coming moments. Meanwhile, Cold is on the ultimate low ground, no mass, nothing to work with, and he is just earning placement points. The one thing that's holding him back from really breaking away here, and now he's inside the top 6, and another elim is all his.
Yeah, the zone passes over Cold, allows him to cut back onto Carillion. Now he has another player in his line of sight, which is Madden, but there's still duos in his path as well. Visuals and Braids. These are all heavy hitters that are looking to end the run of first place here, but he gets 5th overall. Cold and Rapid continue the hot streak, but there's only 2 duos left alive. Visuals and Braids, winners of game 1. Agers and Ritual inside of the top 3. They get that first knock onto Visuals. Braids falls shortly after. Agers and Ritual take the game
in a great fashion there too, but Visuals and Braids now a 2nd place. They already won a game here today. What ask of these teams? It is a who's who in the end game here for game number 5 there, Zeke.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Boop actually cooked up a bit of a fucking banger. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually literally all of our reaction to the fucking bottom message. Like, as you're reading it, you're so happy, and then it's like the bottom paragraph. You're like, what the fuck is that part? Oh my god.
I'm rereading it. I'm rereading it. Like, go back to the tweet real quick, Ozzy.
No, we'll do this and then I'll do it. I'll do break.
Okay, do the break. Yeah, do the break.
No, I did not predict Cold and Rapid. Well, I had them at 6 to be fair, but I had Age Richie winning it. But Cold and Rapid, we'll see. I still think Ages wins it, bro. I still think Age wins it.
Kelly, I feel like if that doesn't give me a boost of confidence, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I need to apologize. I was kind of questioning how Agers and Ritual were in 5th place with a 21st and a 17th. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize. Clearly, your placements are not an issue because you're walking away with a victory royale in game number 5. And
we still got 7 games, Chad. This could change a lot. But this was a chaotic end game on height. I'm not going to lie. This kind of shows how good CLIX and Higgs were playing it. Because now it's starting to get spicy.
The mid ground, saw all the chaos happening on the high ground, and then waited for everyone to kind of get that out of their system before
Fred tweet. Oh, here we go, chat. We'll check it after this. Here we go.
So I had to change it just to like make sure I can't get like fucking fucked over, you know? I had to change the profile pic, like everything.
Clutches going on. Low ground was fighting for this. High ground was fighting for that. And yeah, at the end of it all, Agers and Ritual somehow not only impressively like got the win, but got it as a duo. Sometimes when those games get so chaotic, it's really
I think now people realize that height was free, and now they're going for it.
It was easy for them to do, and they got that game win. And
also the generators are wearing off.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, 1 game left to go, Viv. When we return after this short break, we'll start taking a look at that leaderboard. We'll start setting things up because remember, we have 6 games today, and then after the 6 tomorrow, we are crowning champions. Fortnite fam, we're gonna take a step away.
Did you just use AI for this shit?
Prepare ourselves for the last game.
Is AI this good? I don't understand, bro. Like, AI is actually cheating. It's crazy. Dude, what the fuck? AI is actually cheating. Oh my fucking god.
I wouldn't even be surprised if this is tweet them. Like, if this is the case.
Oh my god. All right, what do we got? Ooh. Okay, my Age Ritual pretty sure is not as good as I thought it was. I thought they were in 3rd. Damn, Cold Rapid though. Visuals and Braids, dude. I slept on it, man. Literally 2 of my favorite pros. So fucking lovely. Both went hard 0-ping. Have been nothing but supportive to me my whole career, and I just fucking shit all over them. Didn't even put in my top 13. I'm fucking weird. I deserve to look stupid. They're playing crazy as fuck. Bro, imagine with all the storylines coming as FNCS and Visuals Braids win it. Like, people would actually just call it a Mickey FNCS win, sadly. But who the fuck cares? They're an FNCS.
I should hopefully do it right now.
Thank you, Batty. Thank you, Solar Remix, Reef, Sir Cranksalot, Zyro, Welu, Bolt, Heck, thanks for the sub chat. Appreciate the love today. Again, sorry I'm not able to be as vocal as usual, but I hope you guys are enjoying the vibes. Thank you. fucking shout out these two
They have a
guys
better
for
average
carrying
placement
me
than
through this.
Sky did, no?
Do they have that average placement in Sky?
5.6.
I mean, 6.2 right now.
No. Cold and Rapid.
Oh. Yeah, 5.6. Dude, that's fucking crazy when average elims is 6. I slept on Cold Rapid too, man. My Preds are looking dookie.
And I don't know how to feel about it.
You're not used to losing.
We need Dolphins done with the sub.
Not like this. These players are just so locked in.
Could it be the milk?
No, I hope they keep tweeting. I really do. Like, this is the best day of my life.
I mean,
I'm serious.
I wish I could make a video on it. I'm gonna have to suck it up and make a video. I'm just gonna have to use that shit that numbs. I'm gonna have to do that shit that numbs my whole throat and just fucking smash out a video.
The throat coat.
Yeah, no, that's the T. I've got this other shit that like literally is like I've got like the lidocaine or whatever it is, where it literally makes your whole you just can't feel your mouth.
You got the throat coat deluxe.
Yeah, basically, bro.
The fucking.
I needed that shit when I was in the US because that's when I had the mouth ulcers. Remember when I was like fucking allergic to America, like whatever the fuck that was.
The worst.
I've literally gotten sick twice in the last 9 months, and it was last grands and this grands. Like I just fucking can't, bro.
It's unlucky.
Fortnite fam, welcome back to the FNCS. This is Major 1. This is day 1. Kelly, don't laugh.
sluggish program was still not allowed, no?
No, it's still not allowed.
Yeah, so I reread it, by the
In
way.
case you just tuned in, maybe you're just like, oh man, I've had a long day coming in. I'm watching the FNCS. Welcome. Happy that you're here.
Huh? What do you mean you reread it? Go on.
Yeah. No, I reread the tweet, right? My fault. And then it's like, given the confusion on this, disqualification of these players was a mistake. So like, as in, because it was such a gray area, disqualifying them was a bad decision. That's what I got.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yes, yeah, they're saying that in future you will be DQ'd for this, but because it was a gray area, we shouldn't have disqualified people. But
the app is still not allowed, so I don't know why Josh is like tweeting.
I don't know.
Like he's been fine.
Oh, is he?
Like he just tweeted like the wake up gif, you know, like the guy that like woke up from the dead. But like his program is still not allowed. So.
Bruh.
No, you keep saying I don't know how, and then you explain exactly how. They're constantly making it into the end game. They haven't placed below 8th. They have 30 eliminations, which is more than anyone else in the lobby right now.
Bro.
Cold and Rapid are completely locked in, and this is exactly what I wanted to see at the end of day 1. We can talk about all the other teams right now. There's so many narratives
Elite
to go
Reload
on,
Cup.
but to see Cold and Rapid,
It's Friday, bro.
It's Prime
for whatever reason,
Reload Cup Friday and Rain Cup Saturday. Come on.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Let's get it. And a solo victory.
And a solo victory cup.
We added a solo victory cup for the disqualified players.
That game, you can see a lot of the
I would not be surprised at this point, honestly.
They had 0 builds to their name, and that was
Oh my
top
god.
16, right? There were 16 teams left alive when that actually happened,
Fuck,
right?
bro, this is too
builds, it
funny.
seemed
Like,
the
they're
game's
actually
pretty much been
funny.
done.
No, you know what I
Somehow
would
that
do
game
for them
ends
to
up
add like
being
an
a
LCQ
place
to the
for them, like,
fucking Dusseldorf
guys
after
Just to
this.
land, it's just all the DQ players, and they get one spot. They all go out and they get one spot.
Yeah. I would
Shit.
cry. I
Now,
would actually
They are
cry.
in first place, but hot on their
Yeah, actually,
heels
wait, are they
right
gonna get
now.
their
Visuals
1,000
and
V-Bucks?
Braids, they did close the gap.
Are they
they
gonna
got
get-
for sure.
Are they gonna get their compensatory 1,000 V-Bucks, like whenever they ban people?
Which
Yeah, that's got to be V-Bucks for
huge,
life.
as you can
I'm not
see.
even
I mean,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
they're
That's
way
got
out
to
of
be.
place.
Clicks
Right
and Higgs in
now,
5th
those
now.
eliminations is probably all.
Bro,
of
100
the
points
difference
behind
between
first now.
them.
Fuck.
I mean, Visuals and Braids is, again, we talked about it at the last year. They were
The least elims
constantly
in the
getting
top 10
4th
is
place
crazy.
in 2 different majors when they played with a Minish.
Damn.
And before we went live, Jacob PR said that they are the best duo that we never talk about. For whatever reason, they only lock in when it comes to the grand finals. But when they do it big, and they're always in the top 5. They're always beating out
Cole
some of
Madden
the
in
bigger
9th?
teams that we talk about.
Dude, I
So
gassed them up
would
for a
love
whole
to
month
give
as
them
my
the
underdog
flowers
pick,
that
and
they
then just
deserve.
didn't even
And
fucking
finally,
predict them
by
to call
being
in. Like, I'm
second
just a
place
sellout,
after,
bro. I
or
fucking
towards
suck
the
at this.
end of day 1, they're just grabbing the flowers themselves and saying, look what we can do.
It's scary, right? If Cold and Rapid make one of those little mistakes,
PETERBOT can still win grands. Maybe. There's still, there's still 7 games to go.
It's got me questioning, guys. Like, obviously, we make the joke like Cold doesn't play the game. What if conspiracy theory? I'm gonna break out my own board here.
Oh, here we go.
What if Cold has a secret account we don't know about, and he's playing Fortnite all the time? Think about it.
I like that. I like
Let's go
that.
back
It's
to
called
those
hot.
What did he say?
Saying that Cold has a secret Fortnite account he actually grinds on. We don't know that.
Don't make me laugh on broadcast. Let's go back to the standings. We got to talk about CLIX and Higgs, PETERBOT, and
You both file?
Their battle continues, man, for like a while. CLIX and Higgs were like, they were pulled away. But look at this. We're just separated by 10 points. Oh, man. Even after those 2 victory royales, Kelly, I'm looking at those 10 elims being the difference maker right now.
Oh, actually, one sec. I'm making my fucking, that's what I want to make an ice drink.
Well, this is the moment right now that we can see the misstep from CLIX and Higgs. We know that they love to take an early high ground, and they saw zone holding towards this mountain, and so they kind of thought, let's get an early aggression onto this high ground. We're going to claim it, but they stayed in Storm just a little too long, taking a little bit too much damage that Higgs and CLIX were not able to recover from Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they were in prime position to go ahead and win that game, right? Kind of launching up on top of the hill right there. Just a little bit of an over peak from CLIX. Got beamed by the rifle. I would have to imagine that was, you know, on the receiving end from Ishu, who was going to be the player that ended up aggressing towards him. So CLIX and Higgs, yes, 234 points in 5th place. Right behind them, like we talked about, PETERBOT and Pollo, 6th place, 224 points. Honestly, not a terrible game from PETERBOT and Pollo, right? It doesn't really feel like that because we didn't see them in the end game. We don't really see them fly up leaderboard right now, so we're kind of like, okay, it doesn't really look like they had a good game. They got 12th place, so not the best placement, but picked up 8 eliminations, which is their most eliminations so far throughout the day in a single game. So super cool to see. Really liked the high ground play from them, by the way, because as you can see, the elevation changes that were kind of happening over here amongst the natural terrain allowed it so an overdrive grenade combined with a mist actually allowed them to float up to like perfect height to take the fight up there. So super cool to kind of see them make a good play like that. I think ultimately another team ended up getting the best of them. Yeah, that was Ritual and Aegis who went up. And I swear, Kelly, we kind of talked about it. These fights that keep happening up in the sky, it's so wild to me. Is there no other better play to make in those scenarios?
Yeah, what was it? Ritual launched up in the air, and then Peter followed up launching in the air as well to shoot Rituals, but then Aegis followed PETERBOT and shot him instead. And you gotta wonder just how distracted everyone is that there's just 2 different duos floating up in the air having their own Dragon Ball Z fight, and no one else is looking up towards them. But 5 games, 1 more for day 1.
You're alone?
Zeke,
Am I
and
like...
it's just so much has already happened.
I know, Kelly, this is it. Okay, this is the final opportunity for these duos to cement their day 1 performance, because they're gonna have to look to pick up the pieces that they've laid out tomorrow, right, and bring whatever they've learned into tomorrow's 6 games and fight for either spots going to Dusseldorf and the Summit or an Axe of Champions.
Can CLIX still win? Yeah, chat. CLIX is still win. There's 7 games left, chat. Like, a lot could change.
So crazy. One last game today before we say goodbye. Casters, for the last time, take it away.
Honestly,
Monster, Braves might be the first team actually win. I don't think they'll end up winning. I think they can easily get in the top 5, but like everyone's heating up.
Yeah,
like, everyone's
except for CLIX and Higgs, sadly.
Try to get as many points and close that gap as possible.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have had another coffee before this all started. I really
didn't.
Thank you,
Zombie Boy. Thanks, Prime Man.
Is that good right now with Cold and Rapid in such a monstrous lead. Let's just see if they can hold on
just
to
something funny.
It might be
no multiplier tomorrow, chat. No multiplier.
Prediction. Who's landing on who? Who's ready to take it by force?
Ooh, 1 team 6, wonky. Okay.
Where you stand at the end of today, you're gonna have to go elimination crazy tomorrow. You're gonna have to get consistent top placings if you do want to win this competition, as Jack and NPen do fly down at their drop spot uncontested this time around.
Interesting.
They gotta watch out for the mountain range from Cole and Madden, Acorn, and Bolt.
Because the other side.
The other team's like, wow, this is so good for CLIX.
For now, it does look like they're gonna have
what the fuck? You see 8 gliders and they're all paper.
Here, considering he fell off the mountain before, but
yo, chill.
He does win the exchange there.
Watch him be super careful now. Watch him be so careful now.
He's padding off.
Other fights happening in the feed.
Oh, sorry,
seems like a little bit of a mix-up. Saw Ritual take
A-Tech with a 5. Thank you, man.
Wonder if that's because he put boots on the ground first and took him out the sky. We'll end up getting some updates there shortly. Jumping in with Cold and Rapid, though. I mean, Jacob, talk to me, dude. What do you think needs to happen?
I mean, this duo is looking so good.
The Kings of Dark Dominion to fall.
Why did I doubt Cold in Grands, man? I'm a fucking idiot.
Their worst game
and I've literally, the worst part is I've been saying Rapid I think is actually one of the best IGLs in the world, so it's actually Cold, but I think
Axe and Moppings are underneath in those little turbines just trying to loot. It's a little bit of a split drop. Cold and Rapid don't typically go underneath there. So it does look like both of those teams, you know, I'm doing air quotes here, uncontested in this game. Nothing too much to worry about. Visuals and Braids, we've seen them at the start of some of these games so far. They don't really stray away from their plan. They are in the center of the zone. They just got to hope that they get the good loot because they don't normally go and scoop loot up else from anywhere else.
Just take me way back to that like Cammy Seti day where they were landing kind of split mountains and having full control of the center zone. No problems with rotates, but give us a second here. PETERBOT, Boyo doing what they need to do, finding an early elimination, rotating out. This is almost looking like a repeat performance of game 3 and 4, where they wanted to play hyper aggressive to start making up for points. And it has seemed to pay off for them for the most part, right? Like all they're missing is kind of closing things out and making some big end game performance or positioning points, but the elims are definitely there.
You know they can pop off at a moment's notice. We tune in Acorn and Bolts. This is one of those drops where you don't necessarily get contested if you're Acorn and Bolts because it usually narrows down to just kind of like two separate 50-50s on top of the mountain for those chests where Acorn and Bolts usually, more times than not, have beaten out teams like PETERBOT and Poyo to kind of go ahead and claim this drop as their own, which kind of means they're safe for the early portions of this game. 20, not so much. Neko's already down, so the world is literally on his shoulders for the last game of today. But luckily for him, there's still so many other teams right by him battling it out. It's going to allow him to disengage for free.
Yeah, he gets saved by Bucky and Zen, who just come in and then get crashed on. They thought they were going to set up the big lurk, but it seems like they were spotted out. Meanwhile, Listen and Aloe seem to have been fragmented apart as well. Well, he's forced to play by himself, so quite the messy start for all 4 of these teams or so. Meanwhile, Braids, though, falls here. It's all up to Visuals. Big problem here. It's Magma and G Monster who come crashing the party here. Visuals, though, gets collapsed on. It's not looking good. G Monster's in the box. Visual forced to back off, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away, but G Monster fails a little edit there. This gives him some time. Visual gets a little heal off, and this is so close. Just like that. Second place is down and out. They thought they were safe on the mountain here, and it's just all over.
Luckily for them, they have a 36-point gap. They are in second place, like you said, 311 points. Third place is Acorn and Bolts at 275. So a little bit of a cushion. You got to imagine they're going to fall from that second place spot. But how high do they stay on the leaderboard after this game is said and done? So really going to matter. Start bot reviewing a little bit early as PETERBOT Boyo continues their rampage, returning back to Squibbly Shores for Mafia and the Tick. This is where they went to try to get that reboot off. Maybe they get to pick somewhere better because they just get eliminated yet again. The Tick is literally going to be left by himself. Not sure exactly where he's at, but he has to be close by because the reboot just went off.
Nice little pickups there, but you know what? Last game they did this too, and they still found themselves not exactly in a position to, you know, outpace the general surge damage. So these elims are just coming across as super quick, but it will come down to can they pick apart other teams on the rotates there as far as positioning is. But Curvin, Veno back into the mix here, back in the action. Last game was a generally decent one. This looks like a little deja vu as they take down Chance and Tyler once again here. When we tuned in like Zone 4, they had 6 elims. We'll see what they end up doing this game.
Yeah, really just taking quick advantage of the teams that are contested on the south side of Battlewood, whether it's just damage or full-on eliminations just like that. They have their game plan set and ready to go. Acorn and Bolt, similar for them. This time around, you see them get off of the mountain right away. They have a feeling the zone is not going to pull over in that direction, so they want to get one of these priority positions over towards Painted Palms. A little bit of a mountain. They go ahead and replenish some of those builds, brick and metal, and they're going to sit Bolts up top, and he's going to be the primary source for their surge.
Got the split once again from Higgs and CLIX here. This time, not opting to sit right on top of the wonky land. They want to be a bit dynamic here, so the mountains, this bush here it is. Creon and Dragon there, based up in the distance. CLIX might find some tags here shortly.
Takes a bait right there. One of them in the bush. He knows Higgs is going to be able to watch his back. Got to make sure CLIX doesn't get lurked on for free, and vice versa. Throwing threats and fear. Riptide, uncontested. They've been able to get the Mythic more times than not. Just having to put it to use. 220 points. They're in contention of that top 13 spot. About 114 points away from first place as well. So one good game here to close out the day for a good chunk of the teams. And possibly bounce them into first place as Bucky does go down. Blake and Preston are able to get both of those eliminations and even a third on top.
It's a very nice set of points right there. Keeping them in the conversation so far. Again, there are still teams fighting for that top 13 to make it to LAN. Jacob, you want to take a glance at what's the threshold, just so we can continue to kind of bake that into the story here, because I know we're looking at obviously who's in the championship race, but remember, there's so much more on the line for this first majors.
Yeah, right now it's at 158 points, and that's being held by Slepsy and Wages, barring any eliminations early on in this game, of course. And it just goes to show how close it is, because below them, Scare and Osid, 156. Tyler and Chance, Jargo and Carillion tied at 150. H-Cube and Encrypted at 138. Literally, one elim separates so many teams from the next placement point. A couple of actual placement points throughout the course of this game could really change the role. And last time we saw Threats and Veer, and looking like clean rotations through the zone, but they get spotted out by Curve and Veno, and in an instant they go down.
And they were in 7th coming into this game, so that's going to open things up for sure for everyone else below them. Madden, Cole here are one of those teams inside the top 10 that are just trailing behind them. It's quite the jump, too, from 8th and 9th. It's a 20-point jump to get to Threats and Veer, who was at 220 points there. So you can see that because they fall, this standings in general is going to become more and more condensed towards the bottom. Boya PETERBOT, though, continue the aggression. We've seen them actually fight this team before and come out successful. They just seem to be essentially picking apart these same duos in their vicinity, and this is how they're earning all these points here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's planned or not, but kind of like what you're saying, just one elim, let the reboot go down, clean the elim up again. Only 3 so far. 2 of the elims are on one of the same players. Then he's able to get Skinny Cat, someone they eliminated in an earlier game. But all that was going down. Guess what I saw on the feed? This here, Veno with a double elimination. The shockwaves and the fizz. And the interesting thing about that is you don't necessarily get the audio visuals. So he is just sneaking on players left and right.
This is how they're doing it. This is how they're basically the most successful early game team I think we've tuned in with on this entire tournament day. They could just clean up their end games, get a little bit of luck on the zones, maybe some positioning. They'll be up at the top. So tomorrow could be a day of adjustment for them, and we could very well see a Veno Curve comeback. Mod Sphinx were in that same conversation for quite some time, but again, just coming up short, finding themselves being picked apart, I think, by PETERBOT and Boya in that last game there, as they fell at 23rd in the previous one, and then 8th last round with only 2 elims. So either way, they did manage to clutch up, even though they were taken out a little bit earlier.
Sometimes just being patient, not making a rush to decide any decisions. I'm just kind of having a calm, cool, collected demeanor. It's very, very similar here to Cold and Rapid. You can see it tops this total shotgun damage of everybody else in this game. Just goes to show that Cold, man, it's just, the rumors are true. Doesn't have to play. Honestly, just the grind that he's put in the past couple years alone is paying off. He's a prime-time player here. One team's going to be in their path towards the south. Even though they have to rotate in towards the east, they do have the shockwaves, they have the fizz, so they can cover a good chunk of distance in no time at all.
Look at this, little did they know there was a team rotating right below them there, so a little bit of a missed opportunity for them. Meanwhile, Cooper and Reet have this crazy looking base. I was gonna try to describe it, but I don't know what to say. It's just set up for obviously some tags fishing here.
Most of the games, when the zone did pull towards the south, or even the western side, where we went over towards Wonky Land and the mountains, Reed and Cooper kind of made it a priority to rotate rather early on, but this time around, they do got latte landing. If they do need it, they have the launch pad right behind them as well. But they're there just on the edge of zone. They can easily climb back down, shockwave off, try to close distance that way, depending on where the next zone falls. So it's not going to be too many difficult decisions for them to come up with as the game continues to move on. Aviv and King, though, all the way on the south towards Dew Sanctuary. 2 eliminations so far, and this is one of the first times we're seeing them really stray far away from Sus Studios to try to pick up early damage.
Those are some huge elims. This is going to put them right in contention for the top 13. We're at 144 now. Elims are just the best way, really, to go ahead and make sure you're on pace to qual. Acorn and Bolts, though, they're trying to fight for first. Targeting down Osid. Scared down low. You see up top, Bolts has clutched 78 points as a solo, the most of all players here today. Just really showing you why Bolts is one of the better fraggers out there. His ability to perform clearly has been shown here this weekend so far.
They've been able to get at least 1 win so far. Kind of woke up from that slumber. Sveno and Curve getting aggressive. This is first place thereafter. They got the Elim onto Cold. Rapid's now by himself, stuck in a tough spot, trying to get out. Use the porta potty. King and Aviv in there are as well. They're just trying to get out, and now Curve and Veno have to make that decision. Do we go along with them? It does look like that answer is going to be yes, but luckily for them, King, Aviv, they've already rotated on out. 2,000 damage almost above the threshold. Veno and Curve realize the situation that they're in, Monster, taking a page out of PETERBOT's playbook, saying, hey, if we have any hope of winning this tournament, it's going to be by eliminations and coming back.
The best part about that is Veno and Queasy quite literally set that trend, right? They were the first villains we've ever had in the Fortnite lore. Veno's at 7 eliminations total right here alongside Curve. This is just some exceptional performance right now. And again, it just makes you wonder. They have been the most successful early game duo that we have seen when it comes down to just the way they've managed to ambush duo after duo. It is just a matter of finding placement points in the end game for them.
I'm feeling a big Veno game here. I'm feeling a big Veno game here. Gold pistol, mythic iron pump. This dude is going to turn, look at people, and they are going to go out like a light. So I'm eager to see how he continues to perform. If he does make it into the next portion of the game. Max pull, though, for PETERBOT, Poyo, and a few others. Much better off, though, in this game than they have in previous games in terms of that Storm Surge. Almost 800 above the threshold. Kind of doing something similar to Curve and Veno, looking around for those eliminations. They've been able to close the fights down pretty quick, not extending them to where they're trading damage back and forth. They just got to worry about this rotation here. We're kind of seeing the other side, exactly that. Rapid by himself. And honestly, any points here from Rapid are huge. He just needs to get inside of the top 25.
Got to give himself a little bit of cushion to work with here. Now, remember, Visuals and Braids is down as well in second place. So first and second go down. This is the perfect scenario for an Acorn and Bolts to have an opportunity to kind of solidify a lead going into day 2. And Acorn has not been someone who has often had successful day 1s. He usually comes back stronger day 2. And although he's won major 1 for the last 3 years consecutively, it has not been easy performances, no easy walkaway, no runaway performances. It has come down to strong day 2 kind of cleanups in his performance. So this is by far the best we've seen so far. Just keep that in mind as you watch this game go down. So if Rapid can manage to clutch up, the rest of this entire tournament is in trouble, right? Now, if he falls early, as he probably should, everyone's got a chance.
Yeah, if I'm Rapid, I'm aiming for top 12, top 10. That's a good chunk of the placement points. Almost half. We're in the top 8, you get those, but he gets spotted out. You can see he's running low on materials. Uses the shockwave to try to get away, and he's going further outside of the zone to try to hope there's less and less people in this pathward inward. 89 above the damage threshold. A couple shots are going to connect there in that instant, but you can see he's just trying to return back to some of these boxes, maybe even break his way in to try to find any scraps left behind, but he's just waiting for the zone actually forces him to move in. That's where he's going to dig in the pocket and try to pull out those shockwaves.
He's getting a couple tags there while he's at it. Meanwhile, Muzz and Sphinx healing just outside the box of PETERBOT and Boyo. They're trying to see if Muzz is going to make a mistake and weaken that wall with an edit. That's all it's going to take for them to break right in. They say, nah, screw it. We're going to go on and break in ourselves. Meanwhile, Ritual takes down Blink and Preston here. The little side angle. And Agers and Rituals are very much in the race right now. This is going to be a team that we're going to have to be talking about here shortly. If they go for high ground, if they go for a win. Rapid, you see him on the side of our screen just flying across now. And everyone here in this back corner, Jacob, is in a world of trouble.
Yeah, they barely got above that damage threshold for Muzz and Sphinx, because that would have been Muzz going down. He had 24 HP, one strike takes him out of this game, but luckily for him, the Chug Jug's there. Poyo's down, Veno's down, Rapid's still alive, and for Rapid, with how things have been looking, this is a huge blessing with a bunch of our juggernauts being left as solos.
Curve, that's it. That's all that's left to kind of play this one out. Placement points hasn't even been given out, mind you. PETERBOT's also solo here. So everyone that has this blessed opportunity to try to close the gap is now left as solos. Sphinx in the same position as well, 66 below. He's taking damage in your bottom right. PETERBOT's just lurking here, waiting for a chance. Everyone here just wants position, mind you.
Just to simply even get in the zone. 3 different solos. And the world of difference that they're all going through is Sphinx literally has 2 HP trying to find his way out. Curve finds another elimination. That's Higgs. That's an elimination onto Higgs.
Oh my God.
Not sure if CLIX is still left alive. Didn't necessarily see a knock there, but another big name being put on the back foot here. Even Sphinx barely surviving. I'm not even sure how he's not been looked at once. Barely just 2 HP. CLIX is in fact still alive. So another big name left as solos here. Luckily for all 3 on screen, all of them are going to be above the damage threshold. Even more so as PETERBOT finds another elimination.
This is crazy right now. PETERBOT's putting up the clutch here that he needed for the tournament. There goes the big shockwave to get him into the zone. He's just going to take the most advantage of having that max stamina. And there he goes. Changes layers now. He's in a strong position. Meanwhile, Sphinx is still at 2 HP. He is slowly earning placement points, though, here. He can't afford to play with the zone. These are some of his old builds here. He's going to still continue to go around the outskirts. Bringing focus back to the left, though. I mean, this is insane to kind of watch play out right now. Everyone here, although they are solo, are playing exceptionally well. Curves on the heels of CLIX, though. CLIX barely manages to get away there.
Yeah, you can see right now in terms of Curve, he's really just out of builds entirely. 0 left, gets spotted out on the other edge, can't build to protect himself, so he scrambles around until he's finally taken down. That's a big elim by PETERBOT there. You said it yourself, 266 points, single-handedly trying to put the team and the game on his back, close the gap coming into tomorrow. CLIX trying to do the same thing, but it's a diminished in hobby. We talk about solos here in this game. We finally had a duo emerge as the high ground team.
And CLIX is still in this as well. Couple builds, but QK Contrap got him cornered. Meanwhile, Agers and Ritual finally start finding more eliminations. They're one of the stronger duos still alive in the low ground right now. They find a refresher, and CLIX here, although he's got no eliminations, that's been the problem with CLIX and Higgs. They've gotten the placement points, but they need the elims. And what more can you ask for from CLIX right now as he's almost inside the top 10. He runs into a full duo. He has to back off. Monster's shot there, though, just to kind of keep pressure on these opponents, but he's got to be careful. He still has no builds. And there's another duo there. It's Acorn and Bolts just waiting to pick them up. And they secure an elim. Up to second place. Acorn and Bolts go now as they are inside the top 3.
Yep, now they should be able to secure a win. Who knows? We might be able to see them at first when the day is over. Peaks finds a big shot. Agers goes down, though. You see Ritual scrambling around. Even with 3 builds left, he's trying to be calculated about how he uses his materials. Big shot gonna be supplied. I'm not even sure why Dozier went back, but he's gonna regret that one as Ritual picks up a big elim. Even more so, the Siphon keeping him alive. Runs into HQ on the other side. Ritual is going off right now, picking up another couple of eliminations.
We had to jump off that feed for just a second. Down he goes at 7th place. It's Reed who's here to meet everyone with the shotgun shot. Now it's Reed's turn. Down goes Contrap. Down goes QK here shortly. Can he get the shot? No, he doesn't. And he falls just in the top 5. Meanwhile, Bolts is still alive here, clutching up for placement points. Just doing it big here. Everyone you expect to perform is doing it here and now.
Yep, 2 solos left alive, 2 duos. I'm Up and Salt. They're taking the charge down below, but they're also taking the focus from that team up above. Bolt's trying to hide the audio visuals, realizing no builds left, can't continue to protect himself. Mythic 1 pump away, but he goes down, not able to get the max 200. So that leaves I'm Up, another player as a solo. Salt's going down. Aminish and Javier firing up from above, trying to burn through those materials. Enough does go down. They don't even know where this last player's at, but he's up above trying to catch him off guard. That's QK. There is a moment here, Monster. Whoa. He gets almost a minute down. There it goes. The knock is cleaned up. QK! QK! Oh my God! I've never witnessed that in one of the biggest lobbies of our time.
197 points now. He might have just did enough after this weekend is over to send himself to LAN. That is the type of performance we want to see here on the final stage, Zeke.
That was...
Yeah, no, Zeke, that definitely...
insane. No, Kelly, hold on.
Sorry.
That was insane. First off, Jacob PR, MDF, thank you guys so much. Fantastic to the cast. Oh my gosh. QK, first off, can we just say that was the game of solos? Every duo was just a solo, right? Like all these high profile duos, and even in this situation, QK with Khan gets put in a solo situation and 1v2s for the VR, and Kelly and gets 8 elims when it matters. That's crazy. That's
to go from our last chance qualifier to getting the final victory royale of day 1 definitely is setting QK and Khan up for an interesting storyline. And there was a moment we could even hear the casters saying, I don't even know where this other solo player is. I thought it was a 2v2. It was Javi and Aminish versus Salt. I am enough. We don't have to worry about this 5th player. But no, Vivid, you do have to worry because it's Fortnite. And if there's anything you can predict, it's the unpredictable. So big shout outs to QK and Khan.
Yeah, QK just coming out from nowhere. We actually saw him pick up the elimination in the storm. So he must have been healing out there before he made the return to the zone. MDF kind of caught it out. QK, after his incredible solo clutch, was able to pick them up enough points to put them on 197. I can tell you right now, going into that game, they had a total point count of 100. So they basically doubled their points based on that solo performance right there. Doubled.
I'm telling you, one game, a single game can change absolutely everything for these players. Congratulations again, QK Khan. VR game number 6. Okay. This was it. So first off, we have wrapped up the 6 games for today. So before we take a look at the standings, again, I just want to remind you, we have 6 more games tomorrow. So this day was all about cementing a lead, coming in, making a statement, and making sure you have enough points that when you start tomorrow in those 6 games, you have what you need. You have enough gas in the tank to get you over to the finish line to either qualify being in top 13 to the summit or look to hold the active champions high. I've gotten word standings are crazy. That being said, I guess let's go ahead, take a look and see what these look like as we prepare for tomorrow's game.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess let's just start top to bottom. We'll start top to bottom. Acorn and Bolts have suddenly moved in to first place off of Bolts solo, a 4th place, 4 elims. Kelly, how?
I mean, it's Acorn and Bolts. That's how. Of course, it is Acorn and Cold in 1st and 2nd place with a single point separating them, Vivid. My gosh. But that's also not even to consider just how close everyone in our top 4 is. That is just 28 points separating 1st from 4th place.
Incredible run here. You know, I can't lie. Acorn and Bullets, they've had, I would consider kind of like a quiet day. I don't think anything kind of crazy has happened. I mean, they won game number 4, but you know, it's not like they like popped off like huge amount of eliminations. Bolts has had a couple of solo clutches where he's picked up like, you know, just a couple of eliminations to